Well, Mama, good evening, and Akwaba. Jasu Jumedi, we're live on 101.7 FM. So, we're live. We're partner radio stations, High Life Radio, your NASPA Radio, your Wadampopa Media, your Kings Jersey Radio, our New Jersey, your America Bro, Chimamuni, or Migachu FM. So, Mama, good evening, Bill. 101.7 FM. Minimi producer, Mr. Akudo Hansen, DOP, Adibedi, DJ All Black. It is squad, just 4 months for elections. No, I settle like any issues, no, and then many professor Jobe Owusu Nyameche, so on. So, all journalists now a professor at Chadia University, Solomon Kansas, we're looking at just 4 months for election because they say I August, and then 5th day of August, which means technically your August, September, October, November, December count, because it's just 1 week in December. 4 months officially to elections. I am impressed about compare Ghana to America because we are 400 years old. But if you look at globally around the world, BB shifted. Yeah, they can't come there. But if you look at the course of Kenya, right in the course of Kenya, the course of Nigeria. Nigeria is on fire. Nigeria is on fire. High level fire. Because the same people who voted for Tinubu, the same people who voted for Buhari and Sanatini Bubana, the same people who say Omobre, and they are all over on the street to say Kenya for no. And again, even before no, and Naya Bangladesh Prime Minister were Daniel Fiormani, she's been chased out of town. Say that Bob Mali and Nahan boss and Peter Tosh and chase those crazy ball heads out of town. They've chased Prime Minister out of town. Wafa plane with free or mind, nobody knows where the hell she's going. Obi the destination unknown. London says here, UK, Britain. The politics has changed. You see, a just an immigrant, more man, just similar to what was going on in South Africa now, because South Africa for so many no more to money, particularly Nigeria for Ghana for because Ghana for say a very hard work because South Africa, saloons in there, big business, and they are contributing to the local economic ecosystem, but so that's exactly what is going on in UK. How much stores and comfort businesses. So the whole world global politics needs changing. By Ghana, because you see money for cocoa na Ghana de here. Ye home toya ye nya dajem kodwen in Bangladesh. Ye nya dajem kodwen in America for the UK for they can take care of themselves. You have to look at what is our business right now with 4 months to elections. All the research is showing that from last year, NBC was leading. Mrs. Kellers, I see you from Germany. Thank you so much for joining us, Mrs. Kellers. From last 2 years, last year, NBC has always been leading at the polls. But because usually more pressure also. This thing I had predicted it years ago. Number 2, was second term to say the American Donald Trump. The second term, ebi na to root to know Kenya no. Even Buhari crowd and Tinubu grad and Indiana Bantam because on we first time but because the election that brought Tinubu to power no, was very controversial because people were expecting Peter Obi to win. And I went to me and Ghana and the necessary votes now or the winning no. And Tinubu by all don't go first way but he still came. And then again, pressure upon pressure. It was just 4 months to elections. NBC voter or free 2 years ago. NBC, the last research, well, a couple of research I've seen. NBC was leading MPP 13%. And doing the lab form, so NBC must be concerned with just 4 months to elections. They must be concerned. Now, what's the campaign about Baumia? Baumia is doing slow but sure, almost a submarine said then. My advice NBC say, move back to intimate campaign, one-on-one, room to room, person to person. And good, NBC has taken that advice. They are doing more intimate campaign. It's very likely, say, the NBC will give them more votes. But you see, agrono any form. We have propaganda, baby. To say 4 months to election, you can see, say, to say the Kosovo London. It's all propaganda. And I'm talking about a route in Kosovo UK. No. And with 4 months to elections, I don't propaganda. Being a Japanese, it's all obvious. And MPP and if you look at MPP for over the last 2-3 weeks, almost intensification of government communication. But I almost say 8 years in power. I don't know my years are intensification. Party you can see say they intensify their communication. drip project or mode tractors, eco villages. They are all over the place explaining. First, no one how can send people for me explaining and come on over. Now they are, because it is necessary. One hour from NDC perception is favoring NDC more than MPP. But they are dangerous, my NDC, they say. So I don't want to judge the perception. So we winning our so yes, rough. Because the kind of campaign only persona na Baomia marketing no. Baomia to me marketing no answer he's a very calm, he's a very cool, collected, he's a very sensitive person. And that is doing magic for Baomia. That with President Akufo-Addo errors be our failure to reshuffle when people said you should reshuffle, failure to do the necessary things. You can free cut government ministers so cut government expenditure. And my uncle so we some mistake in any Adiana Akufo-Addo beginning if we were and Baomia is solid on the ground. Baomia should be in a comfortable lead. But because of Akufo-Addo mistakes in Bebre, and number 2, city dollar exchange rate, general economic indicators in Baomia is struggling. But Baomia is at with Muhammad. Say campaign the propaganda and tension are starting misinformation are starting to know. Say in a bracket. And you boot for boot. I swear to God, I'm telling you this. Baby campaign and you boot for boot. And if you look at why last minute 4 months to elections, don't tell me before I cover Canada Japan. Last time na Canada Japan be in no sound to now 4 months to elections, Canada Japan has come back into the race. Why? NDC now that after 4 months, look at the people they are bringing on board. Abema KOD. Obi say medium or wabe or credibility or animonium. And this is now bringing more of the young celebrities, young businessmen. On my idea, they have a reputation. They are showing say we can cut across because I did a boot for boot. Baby, I be a boot for boot, a room to room. Milovan, I see you, Milovan. I see Milovan, I see you. Dennis Nemesin, hey Dennis, I see you. I salute you. What? I did a boot for boot. If you say me bash, I mean my Muslim now joining NDC. And I always say, no, me catch no. Say it is good that we have people in NDC and MPP. You cannot always sit on the fence and say that boy, because they won't say parties NDC and MPP no. Ghana for now imagine so one number 2 more. It is one number 2 more most substantially there. And you must get qualified people, you must get intelligent people into NDC and MPP to change. We cannot always sit down and be complaining. NDC fantastic because Obi himself, the Minister of Information, Kim, definitely she will bring something positive to information. She will bring something good to information and communication. You understand the same thing that you have in MPP. When you have good people going there. So I like what NDC is doing. Fred Niamamo last NDC year walk no only pay gum. You can see very young and I like it because in penny for son of a such a property as a baby will hold my debut butch them. Or sim penny to son a command. So the more that you have more young people joining, penny for there's hope for Ghana. Even if the unfatted force become there's hope for Ghana. So I like the way young people in both NDC and look at NDC. You can see some very sharp crop of Buntali money are they with very, very sharp young people. But you see, knowledge and sharpness is different from integrity. I always say this. Young said Ghana from Nkrumah Besi from Nkrumah Besi Nanado, we've never lacked knowledgeable leaders. We have lacked leaders who don't have integrity. That's what we've lacked. Ministers who do not display integrity, and they are lacking. But party on minister be our border. President be our border from Nkrumah Besi Nanado. So but integrity ni asem no. Say wo ka sempoa wo de beye say ya and pass sempoa na de beye. But you see, you can't even blame them because your supporters why we also lack integrity. Your supporters are nyina ye ko join NDC ye peska ebedi. Your supporters ye ko join MPP ye peska ebedi. Until now, anybody who joins NDC or MPP there, obi our perception is okodi because who na who criticize no kwa who ko just can be edi. It's party be a prime minister. Look at all the interviews we do. Dinina party for soldiers, delegates, and mama is Canadian, mama is Canadian, mama your contract. And so Canadian on merit to say they are broached on merit now. Why should there be a problem? 4 months to elections. Who is winning? Who is losing? When there was a double up, Why na also yet Najuma, Solomon Kasameka, no a former NDC executive was a political analyst. I was sure the is a masters here. If we are looking at people who know on the ground, on air, everywhere online, he's among those people. Professor Jubin Owusu Nyameche so Chradie, was Central State University, or not a former journalist, why Juma, our graphic communication group, into also in journalism. Onim. And that you see, me say media Juma, when people are attacking us, would they know say media for integrity? Why did NBC near MPP say, when you are three journalists are question? Say, NBC, Captain Smart, many of them are Bobby answer. One watching the whole journalist for when you communication squad now. And that's a good thing. As long as propaganda be but one out no, one out Ghana, you are your voter, we are your citizen. The job is up to you. Nobody will teach you how to think. When I was out journey, it's will be your propaganda, be your misinformation. You have to determine which one is true, which one is not true. We must tell ourselves, say, yeah, reading headlines, baby, they are verify. Because 4 months now, can be a better proper. Mr. Shadia goes to America. And then the propaganda, American bow. Donald Trump to me because of black jobs. I see, I am confronting them of black jobs. You will be and you will be a job. Nina propaganda, Donald Trump, on a propaganda. And the propaganda now baby until wow, we are citizens. The almost is on you. Obi mekan just the mekon wanu makum. It is up to you to determine whether or minor the no a propaganda or you true. Can you verify? Then do your own verification and vote based on your verification. I didn't have choice. Take it. Do your own verification analysis. I didn't know what you Yakupo wa prof nyansa so onye ma. Said ya wo do sika kodwoma wonim said ya setremu tie said inflation tie no dwen no ho na ye ntie na ye ni Solomon Kansa ne Professor Jobe Nyameche na ye problem ma good evening ni akwaba
efia mejo so boko de
adumara kwa even office ye friend say ala so a big problem for MPP. Yes, I'm very onye 0.1 kra masa obere the internet close bracket na NDC ni MPP bono and danger no ban because or just 0.1 correct few ma before bracket no to be near this in Bobby. But the good thing is your constitution I was so unya simple majority is parliamentary now unya one cry bro so we win no say unya 50% of the total vote plus one. It's in our call for the second round and it's very likely. I have also predicted or then whole senior or see if you papa thank you so much Adam, and say if you are this 2024 elections this is between Ghanaians and MPP, well, let the vote decide. Let more beyond that matter. Ghana elections, Adam, let the vote decide. Me who Ghana for my year 2020, or we year some we are no makoto mananado. Let the vote decide. Let the vote decide. Mr. Esa also here from South Africa and Prof will reach in a baby. What you say, George? Thank you very much. I don't get it. Educated person, even professors are jumping to a Japanese propaganda, including KK. Well, information educated person be under Castle begging amount into you to Junimao, because a Japanese. I remember I was one of the key advocates. Community you took and saying I said ambassador. Say and gold. We all fought against it. So there is nothing like a Japanese. I don't know what people want, but elections, of course, a propaganda. You have a right to discern, to verify. Verify every information. Baby, election I could do verify every information before you go. Prof, Mr. Amal, good evening.
Fia mejoso na one correction be me adwuma o GN kakra. Enya graphic.
Oh, GN graphic.
Right.
Okay. But who made to go graphic find your
question be. What's say 4 months to elections? Who is winning and who is losing? That question no Ghana is losing. No.
Ghana is losing.
Oh, yeah, content analysis. Now, share all the radio stations. Now, share all the TV stations. Political debates equals MPP and DC, MPP and DC, MPP and DC. Who is for Ghana?
That's MPP no so representing Ghana.
Oh, sir.
Prof, but they want to be in power to represent Ghana.
They are Ghanaians, but they are not representing. They are representing they and their families. That small unit, you know. If you ever will cut propaganda, say me, show. Send propaganda. The bay and NDC for started almost to state lands. I check. The bay na MPP for almost bemu. You see, to move any comfort just yaton state lands nina. NDC for no money in the day. No money.
I don't mean now, Chromoto, make I Jake, President Kufuor time, Jake, the Okoto government building.
I was first a region. I'm not to Toby. Now then, I'm not to talk a bit to talk a state lands. SEC dying almost about 6 years in here. 4 months to election. I think I catch Ghana for 4 months to election. Propaganda now can be new. And the why not representing him? He is representing himself. Said the buyer about 2 foot good penny now no bar by Jenny. What you say? But what share the person make up of people? What share indicators in inflation, unemployment, balance of payments, we Nina is not Ghana is losing. And then me say your friend say before say about show Vice President Baumia no kase oba you be move out of fossil fuel, which is your friend say be free petrol ni diesel. Hey,
that's very adventurous, pa.
Hey, now even
to me, a expanded plant, no.
If you're not US. Almost every mile, so how many electric stations in the world? Almost to me. Almost so baby, see, politics, global politics, no. Almost person move free, fast fuel, free, echo, you know, we know. And I'm cast on a month, yet to go Africa. And I'm be VW, you say, be Toyota, be Ghana, VW, be Ghana, why be, and I'm pia buying. Yes, so any been in the engine size, so you be a VW, or be a VW, no, be electric VW car, or be a Venice diesel, no, be a gas. Come with ban on say, had a cars name by VW by a baby be electric car. So, but I'm more person, I'm do away with it. Now, you see, baby, you need to mean to know. Yes, you cars now, yes, you be a factory. What you say? Which are you okay? But imagine baby in cassette and go to no cropon and cassette. Your friends say, be move away from your friends say, this. What doing ramifications?
It's not another propaganda.
Ebi na minim nkofo kwa no mo kasa. So what you say? Say omo no mo kasa no. Sebe so mo go school da. Asema okay omo ntia ase. Inform ho so. And I say one educated elite so na e kasa so dia. Ekropon ho no. Nipa se na te ho ya adwuma.
For full no kwado do say Ghana bona kasa do say na ti ase.
Ti ase. So ti ase. If your mama go school kwa say na ti ase. Na ka so be move free ha ko ha. Say how many maybe see how many electric cars in Ghana? How many electric cars in Ghana?
I think the last time I mean who be net one pen and me who Ghana 37 total.
You see for 2 more informants but ni also cano e ma manfo nya so abotoyem any baby of mine drone. See ye ko yanimu, see ye ba ye chio, see ye gina ho. He be a dollar enam. Untimi nya ayi ene o ka Ghana asema untimi nya manufacturing company big one be as me export ebi wo hin nano mi tie obi dua mo pa mo nyina aka Ghana ena Ghana fo no so nie ena ye Thailand de ne ba mu ana se say wonim se Ghana fo say jasmine rice free US no mudi Ghana mo nanka so mu meanwhile rice farmers in Ghana are crying say they don't have that chain of distribution. Asan komutimi export eko yi, untimi nya manufacturing company bia ena buy and sell in them kwa na okromo. Onya sika nipa say pa na timi save your bank. Na you see ho say wunya sika fo ebi ni interview omo a e TV so a they are showing off a lot of cars. They are showing up a lot of properties. So you be someone say work hard, save, work hard, save, work hard.
Can you
If you, let me say, yen bawe those days are na ye take bawe no na ya me bra car say ne amfa car anko adwuma ya ko fa car station ya sorry 4 a.m. Unko station on now ne makola men women no omo akwadwom nyina okwa babulushi ansa na wakoto tomatoes ansa na wode yakọ central market akwakoto na malata what you say obedru e ho no be 5 because on person traffic be chi no odru 5 akwa babulushi akoto no cheap owia no de come malata and also de call Jamestown market obebe fie na akwa 10 p.m. Are you telling me say mama we won working hard na she's working hard what you say Monka no pranchire mabunu no monka no pranchire youth no say enye work hard ne ma enye sika enye service ne ma enye sika monka no pranchire om ade kan de Japan de kan akra aka so nte ya o say about 75% of I don't quite remember the number dealt in drugs sika for Ghana. He said it
yeah, but Bob, can you blame businessmen who are say omo doing crowd they are and omo exaggerating crowd they are making their point. Some politicians near to abama omo to omonya systems na be boa man ka this onipa bi anwa aheha ne kakra. Let's look at those indicators.
Yeah, meba ho. Why and share politicians na chi.
Oh, okay.
And if on fund on political campaigns more.
Okay.
And if media houses owners nyina esikafo. Omo nyina me sure pass away away say you bought stations be Ghana ya you can station where MPP for there station where NDC for there journalists are highway omo to nyina
yeah and they are aware of that
omo na show machi na manipulate wom nti enema na also omo ye na competition back room ho na manufacturing back room ho no omo nye because e be affecting the business so ti ase because say me a salt producer na say obi free US say ono so oye salt producer opeso ba system ni mu a obemu a there will be competition me profit so beti in order for me to block that entry no miss many politician no and adwuma which is okay because US crowd be from lobbyist obi oha na adwuma no so to Washington all lobby congressmen a year ni pay nkwa be $1 million for legislation to be passed for for lobby more. It could be guns, it could be cars, it could be energy companies. Najuma no. So but what dey population na kitwabi ene ekoye kakaka ni
na
abre. So na propaganda is so say what's a former say ebe I so thick obia Canada but they also okay you made analysis be say they course wo Nigeria they course wo Kenya na empire enipa boa ne say yenso ye fe ne say Ghana ye benya sa paradigm shift no so na emaburu na wo ho no asori no munyai sa betting ne ye fe ne say romance scams ne sakawa ne ade no no munti omani ntina wo say hey omane ye dia say ene Nana Akufo-Addo ni loans nyina ko say 300 billion me ne wo na ebetua yemma na ebetua na yembe say ho say edwuma ben na ye ba beye na ye de etua say ene woni edwuma ya you say your retirement starts from today. Your retirement it starts from the day you get a job. The day you get a job retirement no it is a future be ya hwene enti ene ye bleaker. It tells you say
and I guess what bear west. So Prof, okay, you point to the actual numbers in terms of what's your monitor media landscape in your area who is ahead, but it looks like Ghana and the A losing. But they ain't breaking it down here. Why NDC and MPP they are deploying new tactics this 4 months to elections. If you look at first near political coverage, for instance, all multimedia before that's why media, even that's why media, numerous news program, a political segment is mostly NDC and MPP and no more. So everybody has an opportunity to spin, said the OPEC. But back in multimedia, now more minority and majority caucus. Into media has no dedicated airtime their mom to do their content. Now the parties are doing their own content on their own, including their media houses and the mom. And the kind of information you can see that half of them are propagandally skewed. But which is normal because election be a call last minute. I want to propaganda nina. So why a journalist that so you know these things? Did you expect around this time of 4 months? Maybe I hear politics I be do after 30 years and still a propaganda and a control system. And in any case, propaganda na do people vote on the propaganda?
If you hear Juma in the sense, oh, say propaganda. No. Why and a chair politicians and media men na chair. Their media consultants na chair. Yenya young for yan a chair. Say, baby, I don't know because it's over one. Obia political party be uncle for be our station. One as stations. Maybe what? Yeah, cast ye can you pay people din wa. But I say casa, you bet me boss stations best at tenor. Minu be whom we and the baby ojina, we and the baby ojina. One alpha political consultants as media men. And now advice them. And I'm here, I see, and this if I could be a 360, right?
I'm not be a day.
I'm gonna be some station and NDC 360.
Okay, I know I got online a year or not a couple of months ago. No,
yes. And yet, media men here and advise them say, look, this is how we want to do. Your friend say, yeah. But remember who is ahead, who is a year. Anka normally, no, second your friend say a party in power, no what's them in terms of your friend say a popularity because normally and Baumia, Vice President Baumia, he's in a very, very, very tough position. Tough position because ultimately you soon Nanado as an asset. Ultimately you soon.
Okay. So unlike what Nanado mo use Kufuano.
Yes.
He cannot use Nanado.
Ultimately.
Why?
What was what appear political rally? What appear political rally be and who be say average Ghanaian be say be Nanado dying. Who be average Ghanaian be Nanado dying. And so the political capital has been reduced. Baumia also doesn't want to bring that old, your friend say, guts, involved in the thing. And he is trying, or person ne group of people be obey me do Marco because also on branding as a young person. So, and now, Nanado microphone 87. 71. So they should be seen to be retiring. But almost on Tiasia. And Jomonina baby. And about me also he is not as Nanado in terms of political savviness. So into our bread the campaign bread. I can see that or bread.
Just about me is struggling.
About me struggling. And also the other factors for man bread more is language barrier. Intimate fluent. Most Ghanaians never come. And Mahama can't Asantepa, Mahama can't Fantesopa, Mahama Society crying. So, and his side money now go in his favor. And he doesn't struggle on that side. Baumia struggles. Beyond and Crofona Baumia Pesanka, ne caucus no person called Duomo Kono. Most of them are not really well known. They've been in government, they've been around. But I'm yet to say Hackman was Wajiman. I'm yet to say Yasafo Mafu. I'm yet to say your friend say, sir, old guards. So, Mahama has the benefit of all these people. And the good thing about Mahama, I say, Professor Mills, and that is going very, very well for NDCC. Say young boys no foul money are not mature.
Okay,
they are not mature. And they have been in the space and in the physical eyes of people for a long time.
Yeah, a black woman, fellas, young people, no.
Amanebuama, Nilante Vanda Puenum. So they have been in the political space and they are still young. So that is what is going good for them. Unlike Baumia time now, your friends don't call for you, and the Baumia campaign is struggling to find.
But what kind of sad the MPPs was our boys in your Samuel Kumone de, your prayer Kumo, they also a minister of information, Kojo upon Kroma, Fatima to Abubakar, they also have this crop of young people.
But they
are you saying that Omono you're less effective than NDC crop of young people, no?
For now, they are less effective because I say the economics, if the economics doesn't favor you,
okay,
it is difficult to come out.
okay.
Beyond that, they are savvy guys. They're also thinking about their own political career. So they're also thinking about their own political career. They have presidential ambitions. So you don't want to burn your political career with this one because so and so they are all savvy. And again, communication because you're part of Nanado's government. So that's why you're vice president.
Eti prof, what part say Nina Nanado no more this one say Nanado poor performance inti nama Baumia and in the whole team no more struggle now. Is that
in my opinion. Okay. Because so judge from the promises Nanado gave. Okay. Now say the performance in the year. Sanka promises ngutimi achieve a big to say be about 70%. In case this would have been a transition for Baumia. It would have been.
If that is the case, that's when I'm solo banty me first alone joining. So I say recently is showing that NDC and MPP above bracket. Like they are.
Say I don't know propaganda.
If this is what you are saying, a true said mama only call for the team, no near there or edge. Why is it after Omonia chance? Because they are in opposition to Omo, they are not running any government. And then they have more time, they've had more time to campaign, to sell their message, to market their issue and all that. So why is it that still about Miano or Mabo bracket?
Baumia is doing well. He's doing well. But he should have been ahead.
Okay.
He should have been ahead.
Okay.
He should have way ahead. If so juxtapose promise another mind with him being involved. Yes, economics in buy. Say we CD in baby CD in that. He doesn't even talk about CD anymore. He doesn't even talk about dollar anymore. And then I'm electric cars and yadi. But all concentrating can another ban a good. And all concentrating on say and I can see the no four CDs to $1. And about me and Najumas will be go be Najuma. And go be Najuma. And there is no need even to campaign because Najuma here or what that. What you say? Aha. And then come on at par. Because Mahama pass the Ghana phone him Nepal. Ghana phone him Nepal, Mahama. Nim Nepal, minim say when I can say Ghana for short memories, I don't think Ghanaians want to go back to doing so. They don't. And
you don't think Ghanaians want to go back to the
doom so. And Obo Mahamadia, that is what comes in people's minds. Doom so. So and also dininya. And think as Canada to me, a Emma or a distinct in Kabaumia and then Kagabianka a transition man. Okay. But it's not going to be a transition.
Yeah, but Prof, are you saying something? So you may also very. So are you saying another Abani should just be zero down to you see the dollar near because the other areas where or not so they are claiming that they've delivered. They are claiming so many creative jobs. Now say my whole videos, so many cars, air call, district assemblies, schools. Now no me who among communicate about preference. Could you pray saying fire service training school now never Jamestown or among creative almost 2. Which is a power with South Africa. So then the other sector, the road, they've mentioned road. So my Yajuma in road sector, or my Yajuma in other sectors. They've mentioned it. Are you saying that voters will not look at all those other areas no more? Say the dollar no campaign no more anything. That is the main issue that people will be guided by.
NDC4 are tagging Baumia with economy. That's a problem. Obetimi aka roads, obetimi aka digitization, obetimi aka way. But NDC4 are tagging Baumia say, you don't buy say economy no. Economy no so na ati Japan sam say dollar no so na also change share jail no, and a dollar no what free no. And no me tagging no. So ti say, ekima de na why be. However, and na do na vote ama no, you vote about Baumia who came specifically for a distinct kind of job or so babaye. And no na NDC communicators no e dey tagging on no. And Solomon a friend said near condition say and I do like.
And Solomon said that body boy on what the never to Accra level no I talk right is you know pay on pay heat in that one kind and guys the only say heat in Kwani at this heat in Kwani at the thing so I say
yeah bro Boko.
I can't put up by the way, and I can't hit in the easy.
And then put I unexpected. And all this one. I say,
yeah, do Mokania.
You do mechania, but my anticipate heat here by.
Yeah, temperatures,
And for the whole of the week, weather no cry, you can't even put on your fan, let alone AC. But in the no,
yes, they say climate change in area no weather now unpredictable. But so long, I mean, busa the only my provocateur because I know any introduction remarks be. Say we shall battle on the aircon who will win because me see a bad video so where MPP for Masale Baumia Canada Japan into the campaign full stream for the next 4 months. And this is who are these young people that they are bringing on board celebrities near the end giddy for these 4 months. Any other, but let me ask you, so far started so they are from analysis now. Who is winning? Who is at a standstill?
If you are Odikan, you bet you are Ghana for what we are seeing now because discussion centers on Ghana and the impact on Ghana of our elections, so will basically impact negatively or positively on Ghanaians first before the global allies. And so what to about? Two things are likely to happen. In all instances, NDC is likely to lead and may go runoff. Now, that is predictions are all. Now, election is not election is an event, but election activity is a process. Because you do the event, and anything can happen. Now, actually, why anything can happen in there? MPP were a lot of disadvantages. One disadvantage is central among it here, the nature of the economy and the situations Ghanaians find themselves today. Until when you even conduct a focus group survey, you see that somebody may even say you vote for NDC before you put him into questions for him to think otherwise or still maintain he or she's earlier position taken. But there's something about MPP. They look organized and determined. And when you see that group now, then you have to be very careful of them. Because the situation now, MPP aban wom sisi ano ya aban bia no wom wo Ghana na MPP wo opposition them aban no on to survive the rate at which MPP for surviving. So after campaign trail of the both leading parties now, Baumia appears like an opposition candidate. And so
the campaign
campaign. He is working like an opposition candidate, and he is campaigning from position of opposition, not from position of government. Ahanum noye trickier. Opposition NDC must watch it very carefully. And he takes the battle to NDC rather than waiting for NDC to take the battle to him. He was the first to call for debate. You understand? He has been the first to also raise the issue of whether Ghanaians like it or not. The eminent winner of the election will come from the north. And he has made a very mind-boggling statement that they should evaluate and assess whoever that is going to become the president from the north by northness. Well, he has a very specific audience target-based commentary at Oye. Oh, baby,
okay.
Now, what's the answer now? Why Baumia is becoming a new phenomenon Ghanaians must study in this contest in there? ordinary in the past, our contest was plagued with a lot of unnecessary political commentaries, insults, aspersions, innuendos, but who should see now? It has been elevated. There has been a
it is
great
because of
elevation,
Bawumia, Anna.
not necessarily because of Bawumia, but both candidates, because it takes two to stay the tango. So when everybody is raising issue, Mama raised issue of his 24-hour and what Ghanaians stand to benefit out of it. Bawumia talks about the digitalization, among others, and proceed to try to project himself there. He has been the best vice president in the history of the Fourth Republican democracy. That he is trying to cut his main opposition to come and debate the issue of former vice presidents. And this is a very tricky argument he's making. And it's good that Mahama is not paying heed to that most successful vice president contest that he's trying to raise. Now,
yes, about Mahama falling into the trap, no?
If he makes a mistake and wade into that commentary now, he will give Bawumia an edge from that vice presidential performance commentary he's making. Now, let's also share the nature of our campaign now. The MPP ordinary has gained one region, that is Northeast.
Yeah, when I've been looking at the analysis in that area,
you see, necessarily they have gained a region.
Solo, from your perspective, why?
No, it is because of their own. It is one of the major issues that borders on elections, identity.
Yeah, but some Mahama Sufri Savannah, me boy.
No, Mahama Savannah, and about Umiana 1 year Northeast.
Okay.
You understand? Oh, mother, but Northeast used to be
Northeast, not to MPP.
Yes, 2020 MPP won Northeast. You understand?
But why are you saying it's because of Bawumia? Why is it Bawumia Omoto my MPP no?
But even 2016, when Bawumia was a running mate, NDC won. For Bawumia to become a vice president and they win it. Now that he's a president, you don't need any rocket science to know that the region will fall to Bawumia against my expectation. But it's a reality.
Okay.
You see, now the next trend is campaign approach. You understand? The NDC must look at their campaign approach. You understand? But we appears somewhere, somehow ordinary. Look at how he dresses. He dressed like somebody who wants to identify himself with the ordinary Ghanaian commoner. Though he is the sitting vice president. And it's one of the major courting strategy. You want to court voters.
But so if that is the case, the from time that they be also a short sleeve and I say Lacoste, sorry, or
jeans.
Yeah, Mama has been one of the most simplest down to earth politician in terms of the dress.
I'm coming. I don't want to argue over this. I am looking at the strength of Bawumia.
Okay.
I've told you that 2 hours is here now. NDC is likely to win.
Okay.
But don't rule out MPP springing a surprise.
Okay.
And I told you, say, I'm me NDC, me my NDC will win. If you don't do proper analysis to prick the conscience of your people, the last time I told you on your set there, NDC must not rely on research outcomes from info analytics because for me, it is too sweet to swallow. You understand? Now, as my me catch up from watch this campaign. Bawumia is on the streets, shaking the average Ghanaian, having time, less security surrounding him, being more pronouncedly open on the street. You understand? And there's something I call multiple quadruple effect. Uchia nipa bakwa. Nipa bakwa na wachia no. Obetumi do more than 20 times.
Okay.
Than those who have come to rally to listen to you.
Okay.
You understand? Now, Usha Mama strength is that when he mounts the podium, he is able to speak to the audience. But when you do what I term as people who attend rally, stroke the percentage of the voter register of even the community where the rally happened. If you follow the numbers, you are likely going to laugh at the wrong side of your mouth.
Because one die hard party for that.
Fantastic. And about rally, about 10% will pay attention to the message. Anti-ordinary political campaign, the most effective political campaign strategy, a retail campaign strategy. And within the retail campaign strategy, you need to embark on eye to eye, face to face, human contact. That one, I am buying Casio. Ochiano will say, Bichaba, and I'm Mama. Oh, a nice man, or one meeting come off. Come on, you know, but you will do within 30 seconds.
Yeah. Me who video be about me, I'm say, boy, be in chrome, ho baby. Boy, be say shoemaker, said, then what she and I just and a home crown was also. But are you saying that Mahama is doing less of that? Because I remember beginning, no, and retail campaign more. And some also switch up for rallies, no. So we're reducing one-on-one.
If you recall, until April this year, no research gave MPP 35%.
They were behind.
But now they are more than 40 now. And people are even talking about runoff. What is the trick? And what if things are not done differently that may cause a certain disaster to opposition? Mind you, I have told you that political party managers know the first thing is experience. For you to gain experience in political parties, to go for multiple elections, either you win or you lose some, you gain enough and in-depth knowledge about human behavior when it comes to elections.
Okay.
You understand? Fortunately, both NDC and MPP, they have experienced a field party guys. Fifi Kote has run for parliamentary before. He has been a propaganda secretary, and for that matter, he has been a minister of state. So he's cast for the job as campaign coordinator. When you go to MPP, Operansa, you understand? He has been a parliamentary candidate 4 times before he lost primaries. Look at campaign chairman, Damboche, MPP, NDC, campaign chairman, Asedun Katia. Is that not it? Asedun Katia.
Yeah, Asedun Katia, chairman.
Yes, you understand? Both of them might not be at par, but their level of experience and understanding does not differ at all.
Yeah.
Because if you look at Damboche's exploits in 2000 and 2004, if you look at Asedun Katia's exploit in 2008, that was his first time at office. You understand? Damboche too, that was his first time at office when Ejenim Boateng resigned or whatever, and Damboche took over.
General Secretary, yeah,
you understand? And it is a contest of good
experience
coaches for the match. It takes the players on the field and for their tactics and strategies to work to perfection.
Okay.
Now,
So
back to things that are emerging. One dangerous element of campaign is responses. How you respond to your opponent's issues. I want to swallow certain things because sometimes the problem with being a party man and doing honest analysis becomes somewhere somehow unpalatable for some people. But I must say that the MPP, their style of always admitting their economy in here. Now we'll proceed to comment. Now, there's a very challenging angle of the MPP for us. There's a very buffer and opportune further NDC force want to exploit.
In terms of economy, now come to media punchy MPP for
economic argument, you know. So much as the NDC is not exploiting that place, you know, it could be that costly.
Okay. So no, then we will come back to that issue. No, the things that NDC can exploit weaknesses. MPP for weaknesses, NDC may exploit. Any NDC force weaknesses, MPP force can take advantage of. But Prof, the only other masolo kind of NDC will be your 2 and now. NDC is likely to be ahead, but a second round and a runoff. Do you buy that argument? Because it's been like that.
No, it's not me. It's what the experts have said.
I have also predicted that Ebeko runoff. And runoff, no, was attributing the runoff to say too close to call, but also because of third forces need inroads or more making no. How much PI way 0.1, 0.1, 0.1 the Ebeko runoff. But Prof, what do you think? Do you also see runoff in the cards?
I think sir, I was alluding to baby Anna Solo Kono, but I wasn't bold enough than him. I won't take that bait. I will stay where I am because I say from 4 months, quite baby, but you could do a whole lot of damage. Any slip could cost somebody. So and that slip, no, a cost biana, regardless of okay. So I'm trying to say MPP for slip it will be much more precarious than NDC best. So and senka me na me one say NDC for asha adebiasi, and it's very, very good. They have been Okujetua Blackwa has started something. And Akwebiso Basanti, a friend say,
Bintali.
What strategy no starting? They are confronting these MPP people live on air.
Yeah, head on.
Head on. Now it is catching a lot of waves. I'm telling you, and it is exposing. And MPP also have been very, 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 very strategic not to blow up. So MPP because of them say they no more and yet state lands no matter. They are documentary proof. Some of us are way. Now sebe Kwame Nkrumah je sa ansasi we nyina gu ho. And anka buzi aba no ton bi. A champion ba no to bi a. Anka ye ba beto so. And this for approach, you know, a solid strategy. And they are. But
is it genuine though, Prof? Because there's a local assassin which no. There has also been government properties that have been bought by NDC for also.
So you see, and America say,
is it genuine?
And America say a strategy NDC for taking. Now, if you are MPP and you think it's not genuine, come up with facts. But you know the problem.
It's up to you to also prove exactly.
But the problem is, people won't believe you in government. Oh, dear, when we are present, who they be more precarious than on any government. Because and this is for that free power. Almost 8 years ago, maybe one. Oh, by somewhere the money, I said, I'm watching
one can last minute.
And see, this is a very, very good strategy. And this MPP for also, I am so dormant. Yeah, but you can be before. And you challenge your mabon, which is good. But the national can't rally in Huasem, which I want to talk about. I say, Minu, ye di sa agree a chia check. You say rally say about 60% of them are bust. Yep. Even sa door to door muko ikura nkofo edi na chi they are bust.
Yeah.
Minu agree ye di a from now Rollins time and those days na ET mensa no akọ ni ma no be my boys no nsa and ye no nam kumase no ye minu na yenim. And you can use as a basis say bia. And I agree with Sulu, say 70 or about whatever percentage they call rallying now. They just probably go and catch a glimpse of, hey, we go vice president. So, but they say one factor, yeah, forget it. I'm telling you, things are happening on social media, big time.
Yeah.
Apart from rally, NDC is so strong on social media.
Yeah, NDC is very strong on social media. Very strong. I think NDC is even double, triple strong on social media.
Yes, and it is working. And because you say most people consume message on social media.
It would him that and I me busa and tell people for conform teacher position ma board ni ade omu didi hu is akofo no was omu social media omu be defend omu because NDC is wild on social. They are wild. They are serious.
The problem with MPP is that board for how can you they 75, 65, 85. I'm telling you, most of these people are your friend say hack most watch no board chairman. No more on the social media and that is where they lost. Whereas you have NDC they are very vibrant on social media and social media the voting bloc of Ghana, most of them are on social media.
Yeah, Uncolano. Yes. They are the biggest population.
Consumer media. So if they are consuming their messages from there, from that standpoint, then you want to say, and this is ahead. I will say that because I have been looking at the social media sites and I see that they are very vibrant. Now, the disadvantage for MPP. One who said splinter groups are against MPP. Right now, this man is not even in active politics. But the name I always see Indum.
Indum, yeah.
Yes. Indum say me ha many kran. If the workers of Indum are about 2,000, you can say NDC has 1,005 of their votes. About the banks. GN Bank, a friend say UT Bank. Okay? Now say, population, 2,000. You can say, because somebody not see you.
Yeah.
They are not working.
And no bank. Bank, Royal Bank.
Yes.
You have the other banks, no? UT Bank, UT Bank, Unibank, Dr. Dufour Bank.
You can safely say, out of that 10,000, NDC has almost 75% of that votes. Meanwhile, most of them might not even be NDC. So, and all these people I have when say 4 months, they are surfacing, they are coming out. Indom met Alan Martin, he met Mahama. You quite away in him, your friend say, UT Bank, on what way in him, he's out for Mahama. And the other side him away now, a honor, your friend say, Nam one, so go. And you make an argument to say, if these banks were not resourceful, they were not up according to your metrics, you used 20 billion to save these banks. Why couldn't you have given that 20 billion to the banks to resource them? As I say, Ama omo nyina gu fie.
At least to also protect their jobs, at least in Kenyumano.
Yes, because they say enyuma unemployment abai. They say we a self-inflicted wound on the government. You collapse the banks. Meanwhile, you didn't have any plan B for these people in terms of jobs. They say a self-inflicted wound. Now my banks is ejuma. Nanka na day. But the idea was only NDC for now the banks. Because Amwabin was apolitical. Indum was MPP ni. Your friend said Dufo was NDC ni. Amwaka minimum. But more than 20 billion. See a kwako, a good bank near the kwako CC bank. Meanwhile, that 20 billion would have been enough to resource all the banks. I'm saying, say nipa 10,000 kwana TVCC here. And say, even playing field. But so many
the proper purchase, even the decision on the banking sector, and yet genuinely economical. It wasn't a genuine economic decision. It was more political to just bring NDC NDC banks down.
What the 20 billion across several banks are? Banks you send them here to be resourceful. Send them here. What the 20
I don't remember,
billion?
but I think it was more than 20 billion. It was more than that.
But it would have retained people in jobs. And I say, got 10,000, come in and live you. Come on, Tiffy, come on here, Juma. And now, Ugo banks, there wasn't any alternative jobs for them. And then, Omunina applied to rural banks. Mr. Ubie, someone said, more Ghana. Ye BSC a hearing crop and applications are in Yan. A lot, most of them works in banks. So, until we have banking a yin, now we have social media. Now we have what the landscape and the economics of the country are. Now, NDC, I will not be bold, but like Solo to say NDC be winning. I think that NDC has an edge. NDC has an edge. Now, if MPP...
But what about this argument, say, free SHS for no? So time on better about for since MPP for buy already to free SHS buy, it's been 8 years of free SHS. And that's in Kolani, also are in this a youthful bracket, which is about 10 million, 18 to 34 no population, young voters. And free SHS voting in our MPP, so they are banking on and also say those people are swaying on their side because yes, MPP policy no community also any education that. Dr. Edu Chumbetna was talking about schools or Mahama schools and the investment, huge investment they've made in education. So how is it that youth are tilted to NDC instead of MPP?
How many times monitor landscape now? How many times do you hear MPP communicators even talking about free SHS a day? How many times?
Okay, they talk, but to say
they are not touting it as if the more bangi on another year. But say there was a test case 3 years ago. When say Nanado second term campaign, it got to the wire. Okay, even free SHS, that is why most of these MPs lost. They even banked on free SHS. And so how can free SHS say free SHS message has been tested already. It has been tested.
So they can't use it this time.
It has been tested already because presidential elections, parliamentary one is through. If you are parliamentary, they be worse. Oh yes, a better worse. So we have kept us on one people lose how many seats?
I think 70 and they lost a number of seats in central region generally.
Yes. Now, question I want to say, what are the status of those seats for MPP?
Yeah, but Prof, that's one thing. Prof, let me show a way. If you look at my show video, if you look at this thing, look at the map. This is the map after 2020 general elections. So. Blue ni MPP, green ni NDC. If you look at generally NDC, more regions. They want more regions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think there are 9 crowds. They 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, NDC won 9 regions. But in totality, no, MPP won the election because of the number of voters. In free Eastern region, Nanado, between NDC and MPP, Nanado winning Eastern region over 60%.
Yes, and Ashanti.
Ashanti, even Greater Accra region, Muluzu, and quite a number of votes. No MPP for quite a number. That's why you see Central MPP won, Greater Accra region, MPP lost Greater Accra region, and but they won Central and Northern. Although they won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just 7 regions, they won the total national vote. You know? It is the problem about seats and where we near. It can be to say they may still be unpopular in so many areas, but if they target the winning areas, my numbers ni good. Ashanti, Eastern, Greater Accra, Central, and said a solo can of East near there Beckham. Is it not so likely say one person will get an edge over the other?
Oh, yes, one person will do, but NDC will get more votes, especially in Greater Accra. Greater Accra is very, very shaky. Greater Accra is very, very, very shaky. And they are, I know, say, and then I say, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, seats now, NDC for MPP for Elusu Yenino. And there was strategies be or MPP more. They should do analysis on all the seats.
Baby, the
seats that used to be for MPP, no. I'll see a constituency by a constituency. What have we done since then? Because now Lusuya is a likely so Lusune. Because one, the economy is not favoring you. What I say? Me parliamentary no kwana say said Dr. Baumia winning Nekrana. The country will be the same as it is. And maybe so for the last 3 years, has any government major policy been passed?
Because of that, parliamentary,
Has any major thing come out from parliament? Any major thing? It hasn't. Because of what is happening. And to say, everyone says, Dr. Baumia, when you cross a very, very hostile year, you kind of say, parliament. How is he going to govern? They can run his government down. What do you say? Low now, what you have found? Bibia now, what you have found? What do you say? And maybe who say he has an edge, but are the strategists looking at the parliamentary side as well? On all, especially all the seats that they lost. And Ayamudia. Until America said, free SHS, no, you're testing it that way. You're testing it 4 years ago. Nanado stretched that bandwidth. He stretched it because it came to the wire. How election was so close, no? Himself, free SHS will widen the gap. But widen.
They have to give free fuel, free water, free electricity.
So if that is the case, then what is the message today? The whole world over. And then the course of Kenya, the course of Venezuela, the course of your friends in Nigeria is all about economics. Is all you can say whatever you amount for butum skinny ho, crude skinny imuashi. It boils down to that. So it boils down to that. You can talk about digitization, you can talk about 24-hour economy, you can talk, and then who is empty promises, keke. Those empty promises. And when carry weight to be a but nipani bottom, ne what the electric bill, ne water bill, ne gas, scapper and talk gas and go from point A to point B, or if you're not yet. And no, when it comes any pocketbook issues and for vote on, and yet your friend say digitization, your friend say Ghana card, and their cosmetics keke. But free as it is there, I have been listening to all these communicators. Most of these MPP people don't even talk about it. They don't even go, because to me, we Nanado overstretched that. That is to the point where Emmanuel results was so close. Until they need a different argument. Now, the other side will say, Nanado ain't mean simple campaign about Baumia, because that is also a blow to Dr. Baumia. It's a blow to him.
I know the old to me, maybe I have advice. It is best not move for Nanado because
why?
Nanado approval rates is no conform.
Yes.
And all the neighbor a better more damage. Now, so over the last couple of years, excess amount. So bringing him, especially when Bawumia is trying to portray himself as independent thinking, as a man of himself, he has his own vision or outlining a vision. It's not always the best to bring Nanado. It's not always the best. Even running mate, Crown say a issue for even Bawumia.
But that is disincentive.
We look at running mates and so influence on their.
But that is disincentive to Dr. Bawumia. It's disincentive because you need the backing of your father, so to speak.
But President Kufuor endorsing him.
President Kufuor is not on campaign.
But President Kufuor is highly respected. Into so endorsing Bawumia and also Boano.
There's a difference between endorsing and being on a campaign trail with the person. There's a difference. And shaking hands and looking at people and say, look, me na mini penny move vote mano. But what which a bring us why and those will be any person a better cry. Obiante.
Point life any.
Debbie I brought it from if you I brought it from here. Okay, I said Kufuor was with a candidate Kufuor all through and through. Yes, that is why you are holding the person's hands and pushing. Maybe a year, your friend say, and go for Dr. Bawumia, the credibility, and me gauge social media, how people are blasting people like that. People are blasting people like
that.
Yes.
Until you advance about me, man, being called back.
To me, the role he played in Canada, Japan's your friend is a week. Your friend is Canada, Japan himself.
Well, perhaps also it's a chief strategist that I think Bawumia needs.
Well, he needs it, but does he need him to be in the open?
Okay.
Because of the role he played with Canada, Japan, which was widely publicized. Emma Ken and Crawford, where? What do you say?
Okay. So, but primary is Bugadi, I think, and they're normal.
Ken Nankasa, yes, yeah, blasting on social media. Yeah, social media.
Okay. But let me show you Ken, because Ken is now back in the full stream. Until America say maybe it's part of the strategies a party thing deploy.
But the supporters,
the supporters, just Canada, Japan. You can see on the NDC side, they have unleashed people from all sorts, including America, former media people. Everybody is on board now. Former ambassadors, even NDC for I want to Omonka. Suddenly, we say power na be. Enti after the house obi a be him not as a position back. I feel I know a man who said bebre wa enya atwom no mo ye because time NDC here omo they were nowhere to be found. But the woman who said power na be enti they are all there. But prof member no so solo when they are MPP for weakness, NDC is not taking advantage. And NDC also has a weakness. The MPP is not taking advantage. No one answer my back to Prof issue.
No, I want to me didn't candy caveat to be toward a home call.
Osro.
Oh, David. Hey, Prof, me, Shradi, but Nippon, you are assembly or Uko Bible, Genesis 22 Warokon. Abraham, our year father of all nations. On any year, Sarah or Kwabimari.
So, Name Heckle, Name Heckle,
and I Obisan say, now, Obayo can wear Osiminia. What do no didn't catch an year Sarah there? Yakwa. For BBT will be some day way and why I can say we can milk you understand? And the onion quality worker. But then, there me of politics totally. I am still a bona fide member of NDC. You understand? Me a former national executive member. I belong to a branch. I am doing this work all in the name of trying to share my thoughts on this program.
I know.
And I made the ask my member, Nipa, I made the one cow, Yasipa, Bakunia, because I want woman me here, Nipa, my Boba Tomo Takra 2007. And I want me back. And to me from 2007.
2007, there be no 2003.
Ah, so one month for me, I'm back. But 2007. Yeah. So you see, the man know why I'm he said, or your program now, or invite me on it. I need to do it to show.
Mr. Family Brand crime, Mr.
So
now, she has to know what I'm saying. Bravo, or sharp, I mean, we created a show and gave one seat on it.
There's one political misleading attitude. Your campaign, or election front. Now, who hold mentality say, who win ya? It is very, very delusional. I can tell you 2008, the NDC never thought they were winning. You understand? Until my catcher, the MPP is behaving like they've lost and they want to win back. You understand? It makes them dangerous because they go anywhere, whatever question that is thrown at them, they accept and begin to explain themselves or apologize or whatever. It's a very dangerous strategy. Look, in 2008, candidate Akufo-Addo beat candidate Litmus. He was left with about 28 to 30 something thousand votes to make him president, but with minority MPs. So there was runoff. The situation 2008 is not like today. It was not as precarious as today. You understand? Now, candidate Akufo-Addo, candidate J. Akufo, did not give Akufo-Addo a lot of campaign setback as Nana Addo is giving to Bawumia now. And that is where the contradiction is. Because MP work or promise. Obia say, Bawumia, Nana Addo don't call Akufo-Addo the candidate. But yet, after Bawumia winning, Nana Addo no more in a way no suggest that upper Bawumia lose.
Yeah, and how do I agree with you?
You understand? Nobody understands the psychology behind that. He can also make Bawumia a victim in the sight of the Ghanaian electorate. That people have not looked at it. We are doing critical thinking on this show. People should forgive me for being blunt on what I'm saying. The latest is what Nana Addo said last Saturday. It was totally needless. There, you are going to re-stoke the fire of Nkrumah and Dankwa. A battle MPP can never win, and they will never win in their life, which has no place in today's contest. Bawumia has kept a distant silence and deaf ear to all these things. He's still on his campaign front. He doesn't comment to it. He remains focused and is on the front.
So why is Nana Addo doing that?
That is why I'm asking you and all listening. Say, what is the secret and the correlation between that? People must unravel it.
And they ask them to bet.
Now, the MPP, if you meet the average MPP supporter, that is what they are saying. That's their refrain. But they have a way that you don't know. Okay, who's winning? Hold on to victory. That is what Ghanaians are confronted with. The party that seems to be winning and the party that seems to be losing, yet hold a certain belief that it is not all over until it is all over.
That is why our slogan here, it is possible. What about me? Slogan, it is possible. That's what we say. Not done deal, but our strategy.
Me, two nodness. That is where the trust of the campaign is. No matter what you do, the next president is going to come from the north. So the reasonability argument, is where it is centered on. That is my worry. And Baumia, John Mama, they are both on the campaign trail now.
It is all
NDC.
Okay, your point.
NDC. We've won 4 elections. MPP, they've won 4 elections. At all changeover period, one party hands over to the other. This is the point where any time there's a changeover, NDC change to MPP before MPP changes to NDC.
Okay. And
at all times, NDC means of narrow margin whenever NDC is taking power from MPP.
No, see your point.
2, 2024 is going to be parliamentary-driven contest, and that is what will shock all political pundits.
Now, say no, they ain't shock you, Obia, because you know what happened in 2020.
No, that is why it will shock you, because in 2020, you understand, NDC fought back to cross the gap. You understand? Now, who is fighting back? Who is fighting because he said
MPP want to fight back to regain the seats.
That is why I say it is going to be a shocker, because those seats MPP believe were their own. It's never the case. In Ghana's history, MPP doesn't have 135 parliamentary strength from a start of a contest. In 1992, they were around 29, between 29 and 32%.
What happened in 92? 92 is not a good example.
It is never true. It's a record. Don't discard that record.
No, but it's an odd record. It's taken out like a
it is never odd. It was a genuine contest, because Kwame Nkrumah has ever won election with that margin.
92 was not a genuine contest.
Who told you of that?
Genuine contest. So
92 was 96. Now listen. If 92 was not genuine, now look at 96.
Okay.
Great Alliance versus Progressive Alliance. Great Alliance was able.
Technically, solo 96 was also not really a genuine contest.
Why?
Yeah,
when a sitting vice president, let us not do any academic disingenuous here.
No, I mean no opinion.
No. Let me tell you, that is why Ghana doesn't have any proper history. You understand? Don't let people subject the reality according to their history. 1996, near co-election of Ghana, sitting vice president, no your opposition running mate. How can the election not be credible?
It was just
yet they got below. I'm walking you to a certain point.
Okay.
So the MPP has been a political party that has been learning and exploring avenues every electioneering season.
Okay.
And NDC has not been learning.
Okay.
So where we have reached as a political party, NDC, is as a result of us not taking serious with certain intra-party challenges that we overlook, and MPP does not overlook.
I get where you are.
I'll take you to that point. MPP, Great Alliance, they got 39 point something percent. They couldn't get 40%. The next election, they got 48%. They couldn't get 50% in 2000.
And we went for a second round.
Ever since MPP crossed to 48, they've come down to 47. They've never.
Solo, fire. You up and down. Network no killing me.
gone down below 47.
Is going. Solo start to point in the bill. Start to point in the bill. Because our network may get rough. Problem baby our free but I think I get himself from what the 92, 96, 2000 year example. MPP has been growing. And NDC mom from 92 because Rawlings 92 it was 60-something%.
Right.
NDC has never gone back to 60-something%. So NDC rather has been dwindling from 92 and MPP has been growing from 92 today. That is Solo's point. Solo, your point in the view starting all over again. I've been made 2 points and I say, hello, Solo.
But also, who put you in the points into context? Between 92 to 2000, the Rawlings factor too was hugely involved in that. So
yeah, but
what is the meaning of Rawlings factor? What is the meaning of Rawlings factor? What is the contest?
Rawlings were elections in one. Rawlings were elections. He was in the elections. Everybody loved Rawlings in the 1990s. Everybody loved.
But 2000, Rawlings was the lead campaigner. Listen, 2000. Rawlings was NDC's lead campaigner.
They said from 1992, from 1990s all the way.
And I made sure I said 2000 now NDC being Kugono. Now Rawlings the lead campaigner. Interban saying,
oh, by then his popularity has waned, and not diminishing. Not diminishing.
Now you now agree. You now agree, sir. You now agree, sir. And you know, say the previous elections were machinated. Every human being, you grow and start to what?
Decline.
Face challenges. Like the NDC. And the Ukraine said, like I was saying, anti etrimude, our NDC fuafa. And MP before the Oslo politics. Because only MP no share even today. You share region into 16. NDC put a stronghold. Now a 7. NDC put a stronghold almost 7. Volta, Oti, Savannah, Upper West, Upper East, Northern region 7. Western North 8. Bono East.
I think Bono
East. You ask myself. And the OSHA NDC, this number of strongholds. Now by MPP, Ashanti Eastern, Ahafo. And then CCI, the come one, friends say. Northeast come 4. Then Greater Accra, Western and Central, Abaye floating regions. Why should NDC lose election?
Good question.
You understand? Why should the NDC lose election?
But Solo, are you not also forgetting the fact that numbers ne go NDC strongholds no? And also to say numbers ne go MPP strongholds no?
That is the processor. That is the processor. Because election is not about election day. Election is a process. So when you are not strategic, and you leave election activities to its natural course, somebody will alter election system to benefit him or her, so that 4 regions, Putu, voter, a conquer 10 or 12 regions based on that.
So you are saying that even with this small number of strongholds,
this is what they did in 2020. 2020, MPP won a Central and Western, very marginally. They lost Greater Accra.
Yeah.
Nobody has lost Greater Accra and won election in Ghana's history until 2020. You see,
they still lost Greater Accra region and won the national elections.
So people need to go beyond the mantra or the slogan say we are winning, we are winning. How are you winning?
If you and then there's homework, the way internal party intelligence plan and get this also no. How are you? And this is exactly what you said. I said, okay. So NBC collected even 5 regions, the system they crash here. this is a time I also NDC Nakasa challenging
But
also.
as for that trend, NDC, I can confidently tell you, even though I am not a part of the management, no, the NDC will not fail in election collection this time around, because that area has been dealt with. Yeah, now I had three and no goals. So to me, yes, I offer the party should be auctioned. But there are much more detailed gray areas that the party must work on, both NDC and MPP.
Okay.
If you don't get your election day activities right, no matter how popular you are, you can still proceed to lose the election.
Election day, no.
Yeah, you are friend election day activity.
So remember election day activity, no. So, but me person I share this issue. Why? It's if this is the case, why is it as a last minute to be a deploying for? Look at Koko Anido. Last minute, I said 4 months to election. Koko Anido is very vociferous about Professor Mills issues that happened in government. Take a bit to say Hopes in Adoye, very vociferous. Abanyama Omoye in MPP, even secret. And elections where you call her, and you say buga. And I'm wondering, say last minute, why all these tactics? Is there a strategy? Is there then? And not in there. I looked at it and I looked at Kennedy Japan.
That is why I'm before you this evening. Stability is important. And first, I must first admit that there are hardships in this country. Today, you know and you admit that there are hardships. Do you know what will happen tomorrow? Do you know what will happen tomorrow? Tomorrow might be worse if you change MPP. Because this same in 2008, and we all saw the alternative. So I'm begging you.
This is a first Kennedy Japan. Anyhow, MPP is deploying him just 4 months to elections. Look at Mahama.
The crisis that they subjected Ghana to, for the state capture that they have implemented in Ghana over the last 8 years. Buying every state property, buying all the government lands, amassing wealth to themselves. Recently, there was an issue about a document called Ejapadia. They said it's fabricated. But even if it's fabricated, the implementation is not fabricated. Because everything that is written in that document has been implemented. So if really somebody sat and fabricated that document, then the person can really read the minds of people.
Okay. This is also a friend saying President Mahama also lashing on to South State Capture. Prof, this is the point that you're also alluding to. But listen to Baumia.
The percent solar power generation of electricity to reduce the cost of electricity in Ghana. You share your environment with the 2,000 megawatts of solar power. Every kind of generation makes no so. Now at the cost of electricity above from by 50%. Now abua yenina.
This is the point that you were making about campaign messages in the last minute in the which you have addressed. But Solomon, last minute, this issue, Uniabama Koko Anido. Hopes in Adoye. I said, buga last minute for my strategy. No one.
I almost say, Hopes in Adoye may not have some impact because Ononobia Beja to say, Wajai MPP Eko Afafranto. And the man ye genuine and credible messenger. Koko Indo also of 50% of Sadoye problem. Koko Indo also a dismiss party faithful. also Obiabe free said in your more as a result of sad grips. So, but the things both of them are revealing, society will weigh them. Society will weigh the things both of them are bringing out. Now, me, Masamani said, if you have the opportunity to talk to your brother to keep quiet, to accept certain things, don't hesitate and do it in politics. I remember Professor Mers, if you are already present, so because radio simple no kasafan one of radio station in Guinea number. You are a living witness of that. Kumasi akwabi podcast or chimpanzee is about the ma hello for saying for pet no flag a lot of people. Just so he will let you know his side of the story. Me said the MPP phone to me Canadian Japan. Because I say is Kwamna Canadian born in your friend Kwamna. Eja Kwamna. Now MPP containing certain political parties should have learned lesson from political peaceful coexistence within an intra-party coexistence. Because
somebody like Kokuni, they should have contained him and just allow sleeping dogs to lie.
You see, it won't take anything from you because Canadians can sometimes and now grow. You understand? Based on that, he is within. And look at how Olusu election prior to that threat or issue any other. But just about 3-4 days after election, about me on field. You understand? Now, those issues are omodeba out now. Both sides will suffer some injury. Kokunyoma already don't underestimate them. Hopes in their don't underestimate it. Because at least Obianim said they have been party members of good standing during their days and they were frontline party guys. And this is where the trick works. Because in this period, Obia tries to obey to Chinyoma Biaba Ghana for bed. But like I said, listen to what Baumia said. We call it message of hope and assurance. Listen to what John Mama said. We call it card stacking. You want to let the card stacking a statement go up. They be our person Ghana for no be aware of the reality say MPP are corrupt. And all the time you be stacking the issue of corruption, this and that, this and that. Then Baumia decide not to banter on corruption, like I told you earlier. He will go with message of hope and assurance. Say, yeah, the 2,000 megawatts of power about electricity because the central need of a Ghanaian is about what? Low cost of.
Now, any man can be some believe in us. I'll be 8 years and come away the ladder.
Unim adia abain to me nyewo wiase and it's about to say if you are no coffee. What am I saying? And I keep saying it. On says you be better to bono, everyone and I, in friend in Sabi, Omufan Chami, Sabi, you have 2 years, Pasisiano, a activism, a war, a PWD, people living with disabilities, a PWD for no. Abaye some style ubu baby na kofa wanu a when din kan fa one chap anto ani e twa aboso. And he said, "Hey, if you campaign na ya was no both NDC MPP your credibility in the sight of the electorate when you measure it the electorate are in 3 stages according to Solo's analysis. The downtrodden, ill-informed mass of their population. Then the middle class, graduate unemployed. Graduate unemployed, the hustling society who are enlightened but who care less. They care less about political situation. State of life is very hopeless on Kaibia. And at the upper class, I call them captains of industry, businessmen, big time people who are conscious about how the economy is going, what is happening, this and that, Some upper group have to way, only influencing the mass illiterate and uninformed, seriously.
When prof can
And they say, oh, couchy, or campaign statement and phrases. Now, when you're careful, now you're on rims and car prices are a problem. Okay. What's answer we are ethnicity?
Any religion?
Religion and the global trend of issues. When to me and situated argument in Naya, San you remember bet me about. And going forward, between now and November, that's where campaign season. In November, super naka 1 week na ekotoaba. Nipa ombe so margin and do 2% of the population when we are past November. But how you can maintain your speed when your leg is on the accelerator and you know that you are coasting to victory?
My proper point of order, proper point me na person making.
Me say if you share what is happening in your friend is Nigeria, you hear what is happening in Venezuela, you hear what is happening in your friend is Kenya. One say because of social media, the people are well informed. So, and if you look at the economics of Ghana and the year, I am predicting, say, there will be so much voter apathy this time. So much.
For December 7th.
Yes. Well, any program in a market, baby. Because so can be the credibility of both NDC and MPP in the sight of the ordinary Ghanaian is next to zero. Trust me. Next to zero. You know why? Because Alan Martin is pushing this narrative. Say, some Kofoya began anymore 30 years. So, and people are now all of a sudden becoming very much aware. Say, now for 30 years in here, look at unemployment. Look at this. Still a name and and so the people that I talk to, many and and these are people, I'm going to be very blunt. These are people who have voted MPP for all these years because I'm saying in those days, Professor Senior Upper Class, you'll be a MPP. Most of them are thinking, the elections you cry, me vote. And I'm challenging them. I don't know vote. I say, oh, Master Jai.
And the voter party na quite young NDC and MPP.
So I wouldn't know maybe Equatia. And the ones that get majority, normally every election is beyond NDC for in more regions.
Yeah.
An MPP. So and MPP also relies heavily in Ashanti region. And at least about 90% of Eastern region. So that is what takes them to the finishing edge. But most of the people that are also in the race, are chipping away MPP side. Bediako has people are discounting him, but Bediako were a lot of yes. What him say he's been holding live social media live
yeah.
Yes, and you see thousands of people on it. He's very popular with the youth. Onu say Obechi free MPP for Alan Obechi free MPP for Indium Nanutuma Obechi free MPP for So if these predictions are anything to go by, then the voter apathy will hurt MPP more than NDC because NDC for no there be no say majority popular voter most of that they get it because Ashanti Eastern 90% of Eastern it takes MPP to the finishing line. But if Alan is shipping away from Ashanti, if Bediako is shipping away from these people, then it's going to diminish their vote. If the voter party in the Beba, it will be in the whole last 2 years, last 4 years. Nipa says 6.2 million votes in Eboa.
Oh, the elections now.
Yes.
No, 13
more
million.
than that, yeah.
13 plus.
But the winner,
we're out of the 17.5, yeah.
Right, but the winner was 6.2 million. And
no.
6 something. I think
Nanado got 6.7 plus. Then NDC got 6.2 plus.
Let me look at that.
Difference 500,000.
So I'm predicting that this year, no, they may not even that's 17,000 a vote year. No. It might even
no
be
13
a vote year. No. It might even be about 10. Because a lot of people are so disenchanted in the system. So
they will not come out to vote.
No. Okay. Even for NDC or MPP, their credibility is so shattered right now. And it's not just the ordinary gun. These are people who are working class. These are working class people. Because they have weighed. The alternative is as worse as the one now. That's what they'll tell you. The alternative is as worse as the one now. Right now, it looks almost a preamble. You are talking about third force. There is also a deliberate ploy to stifle that third force with cash.
Oh, yeah, that has always been there. And yeah, this is not the first time.
They have deliberately stifled themselves, no matter who you are, unless maybe I see a third force as a force that has been sponsored by a country not in Ghana, not in Africa. And I say, some conglomerate be, and I say some country be will sponsor a third force candidate where money will be flowing. Other than that, look at all these states.
They're constitutionally, and not possible so another sovereignty will come and sponsor another force.
But how could you know?
How will you know?
Well,
we are hearing that there are some people funding Mahama from Nigeria. We also hear that there are people funding Baumia from Saudi Arabia. We hear all these things.
Yeah.
And you know, we know the system. But Nyamichene say, unless something happens, people are so Gen Z for a raising Kenya. You know, there's a similar thing going on in Ghana. They are governizing.
Yeah, but Ghana for no me they don't have balls like Kenya for no. Ghana for no because if the country starting like that, but
those ones in Ghana no only case. You see, Ghana's problem no. Political class na nkasana yen to me and setting your be right. Ghana political class, as against other countries are massive wealth. Ghana in Sasia to tell you now, send politicians tougher. You understand? But the reality is that your country way, the clergy and the chieftaincy institution, ha country way. Yes, Galam say, yewo on hinibi asase so. Galamsey asase bia no e ya abandia. Even forest. So himself forest e your hini bi dia. And or the mama.
But none of thing na abandia. Na kuma ye 1960.
No, man, I said the amount if you the amount lances say koye exploration no. Different from asase ye so Galamsey.
Okay.
So that's my say.
Okay.
And for what Ghana happen, and a bit me stop Galamsey. No government will be able to stop Galamsey. Because soldier for now they are they are human beings, they will be corrupt. This and that they will be corrupt. But more him both they will and sit in him. Say, wow, be see masas so. Me name mind you be working. Why they bet me issue akwa Galamsey? You see?
Okay. Very well.
Just 2017, after change of power, media, if you were part of them, without police, without anybody, the media stopped Galamsey. And I'm a boy.
Yeah. Advocacy.
When government debate more civil service, any public servant debate more Galamsey stop, any vanguard. What happened?
I know
with the
to me that
fantastic. And you know, Ghana, if you have any revolt, the revolt should not be on the political class. Revolt should be on the collective society of Ghana. And I tell you, am I also to me free radio station so Quebec?
Okay, be a mom.
Who that be? Am I also what interfere? Political class,
your constitution man also a problematic because they are not powerful. Can they say we have a situation where Ghana, so you assess Ghana resources in the many pack a crabby. You see,
resources one. When you are made the president,
yeah, because 71, yeah, the particular people. What I say, what Ghana will be
if you are Ghana 4% stop as Gracia. Adding. Maybe so adding. Man,
politicians are stopping solo. Okay.
Me see, na politician numbers vote war. What we say a private member be a promote to bill say Ghanaians are being shortchanged into young stop as Gracia. And your president Mama no sure ba obeke as Gracia. And I'm a boy.
Yeah.
What kind? How many people in society has offered him that support? Say where they are the best.
Okay, it's true. You have a point.
It's my mentor. Jesus Ankola. What's in one? The next 20-30 years, if Africa position itself well, we will be the global champions. And the West have seen it, and they won't allow us. So they will use this in informed. Over enthusiastic.
I disagree. You
wait, let me land and you see why.
I'm original to Galamsey. Who showed you? I was in 2013.
I know basis.
Oh,
I told you that if you get our ass together,
you have a debt of 300 billion.
Listen, if you are that night, Kwame Nkrumah was the first to talk about African unity, African common market, African union. 10 years or more after his overthrow and death, then they introduced European community, European union, and European common market. All their thoughts were taught African leaders espoused, yet Africa could not come together. Now look at the three Francophone military leaders and look at what they are doing. Let me tell you, I don't pray for military coup in Ghana, but what I pray for is a leader who will come and revolutionize the system. And it can easily happen.
My experience is I didn't get us anywhere, so really no. But I agree with you.
Mama 110, if you're here, Mama 110. He can choose to forget about everything and do that thing and take his name and go and rest. Baumia has 2 terms. He can choose to radicalize things and still proceed to tell Ghanaians that if you want, vote against me or vote for me. You understand? This chada 111 no mu bani na no me the burden no me ebe burden am because a complete controlled by different forces. Now even government of Ghana the IMF for crano one na wow be the sponsor of the. You understand? Me say let us have a very vibrant media that want to partner government. Let's have a vibrant union that a TUC. Yeah, turn Senate. Oh, yeah, turn Senate now. Maybe make us macho. TUC no about no so. TUC for sanction. Uche.
I agree.
But Johnny, the political hula balloon and omu eye because I see. For all you care to know, but if you want to protect employment in this country, the single union that can create employment in this country is TUC. But TUC, I beg maybe TUC or rep also. But Nimpa Bakono Kotewa or no not in the interest of Ghanaians. If you don't attack our way of reasoning, okay? There are young and up and coming industrious Ghanaians. Recently, we imagine like a boss, your friend saying, despite how all your multiple investments, our mind, I buying Ghana, buying at me at your young man tax holiday, young countries and a tax man. On find your proud back into investment, got door and more 100 miles in the north. Now, the West African rice producers. Aban be me nya sa nya so. Lebanese for na gu man mu. And o ko kra amoa aya starting ko a wudi a wo yare. Na ya perfume no. Na Ghana fo ye di ni ye yare basa basa.
I think there's no aka no. Lebanese Ghana industries.
Doc, Ghana civil servant now ye adwuma ye director in charge of crops. Lebanese ni maniska. And they are buying the policy back for crops, cereals and whatever. Push it down. On the hearing and Bombay. These are the things we have to investigate and proper solutions.
I think I was here for when youth, you know what is happening.
Academia. Research is saying Namunya industry for engagement. And they have a email project. Kofo Beto Yen. Kofo Anko, Party of Ramba, Otini Traso. Party about Obiatwaso, because people are pulling strings. Because when you are full sufficient, you have no problem as a nation.
So how do we get there? Because other countries, Barcelona, we will take this as a different topic on its own. Because the American, or Bangladesh, there's route the prime minister out of town. It's from Kenya.
Nigeria, foreign sponsored activities.
I have sponsored.
I have foreign sponsored. Sure, Mancho, Oko Nigeria. If you are Oko Nigeria.
Yes, sir.
Then, and yana, Yanti Ghana, Africa, and US and French combined, Eko Kun, Gaddafi.
I don't know about that.
I am telling you, he's aware. How many African leaders call on them that stop? You can't invade Africa. Why? Remember, why? Because
our point of view.
That's not so local. Leader Ben, Adeokan, very ideal. Okay, very ideal, but it won't happen. Look at the way we elect. Hold on. Look at the way we our political parties is structured. When him say na mene mo amon krofo baako we penny pass say person me boni din solo na edin komo e no ka kire me say o sa akọ your friend say another round no ko oye if omuko yes our internal re-elections no osoma na krofo ko around no he needed $200 and something $1,000 for just his campaign. Just for his campaign. And no yet your friend say enema Rebecca structures. And I'm busy saying, opening. Says, "Go walk off on my hand." You know, you. I said, "No, dear." Now, where bisa can no munina, obie ni ho bisa na do ne ekufo munina, obie ni ho de ne sika run a campaign. That's what he said. Also, be no the sika run a campaign. And I'm saying, I wonder, oh, and once one year war chest, the war chest is you get about, depending on the position, we about 50 people. We say, hey, Misika scam me here, will be about 100,000, bra. And they bring the money and they support this person.
We are aware of that already.
Maybe,
Asma, okay. Asma, okay, trees in my down.
Maybe. And me person me say, there's a low can say in 30 years from why we know. Because of our nature, the way we organize ourselves, it's not possible. Because corruption, corruption if you. So if 30 people or 50 people have volunteered and giving me money, say me go run elections in my way. When I come to power, what would I do? Am I looking for them or I'm looking for everybody? And you want to make it.
When there's a conscious,
and you want to make it, and you youth need you man imagine it. And I am going to do everything I can to satisfy them because guess what? 4 years, I would need them. Now, what
America and other places. Say businessmen, the law max. Now, and Trump, yes or yeah, you also a man of 45 million.
Yes.
You know, other people, but at least almost every interest in terms of tax breaks near the back. They serve the American interest too.
Hold on, they don't come and buy state lands and get money to pay them. They don't do that. They don't dip their money.
Say, why can't we do?
Baby, I want to because this is what we have. Yeah, one is said, yeah, boy, they're bad. Me money, me bush for you. That's what we do. Now, corruption will gonna be. So yeah, where's a corruption? Corruption or Ghana. You bisa, I'm the president. Akufo-Addo. You bisa say, now on the corruption cases, he says, look. The state agencies are there. They have not prosecuted anybody. They have investigated. When they appoint the IGP, and they appoint deputy IGP. Why would you think the IGP appointed by me will go and do something that's against me? Who appoints a friend say a SRAC commissioner, EOC, a commissioner, and the president?
Okay.
Who appoints all of these people? Why would you think, sir? They will go and investigate something that will tarnish my administration, my image. Why would they do that? Why the person losing the Juma? That is why Sanemana Solokano, a ideal. But
in reality,
we can never get there because of Enema Makain, because say I'm changing maybe the one person appoints all the state agencies I deal with corruption. One person who he appoints all of them. And do you think say one person and then a friend said deputy what is deputy IGP that? And they say appointed.
Oh yeah, deputy IGP has been there.
One another deputy IGP from 2000
yeah.
There's always COPs who are in commissioners of police who are in
if you only Mrs. Robertson.
Yeah, Mills Robertson, yes.
Judge, right?
Yeah, before time. Yeah, before time, not a deputy IG. Before everyone or appointing IG.
Ambassador, Ampa.
Remember, NDC, your time. Alasan. He was a deputy IG to Okwe. You understand?
IG, no.
I'm saying IG.
Then I haven't been paid attention.
The issue, my ancestral records be state. You see, people are complaining about President Akufo-Addo appointed a man, your friend saying, you see, oh yeah, sir, ubenya problem because the president, even office in a new Ukraine, by the virtue they said, or the mandate to rule the country.
You see the problem. You see the problem.
You see the problem. 4 months to elections.
You see the problem.
When security is the key issue.
You
see the problem. The key issue.
Do you know your own very well?
It's not for influence.
If you member, do you know your own very well?
You know your own. Why the elections? Oh, but so in terms of the credibility as a police officer, there's no question. But why?
And so why do you bring it? Listen,
why appointing 4 months to elections?
There's a need for director in charge of oppression.
There was always a need for director in charge of that. So at the time, you know, already once NDC was raising issue about the number of recruitment into the police service and the other security agencies. Yenim said the money now more opposition, MPP now opposition, they would have complained about this. And in position now the whole vacant when was it advertised? When was there opportunity to replace? We have replacement though a year earlier. No, we can't have some crowd, we have a 12. But 4 months to elections. When we all know say elections where is heavily guarded by police and security agencies.
Mahama signed bauxite to Ibrahim Mahama midnight. MPP just last week they were on show say Mahama also appointed deputy IGP, but beyond that,
program very very educative and informative. Mino, I was setting the record straight. Said the issue of appointing a deputy IG was not the first time. Because I don't want to be on the program. No, I could take more, baby.
That one is true. Because Mills Robinson, not your deputy. I have forgotten.
Program. And to Prof, the members of Moya when say we can talk about the timing, but you cannot talk about appointing a deputy IG.
Okay.
You can make inferences on the time he was appointed. That one I'm not
my point is
debating that. But the appointment, that one there, it has been the norm.
Point well made. One judiciary, right?
No, Prof, I also accept him point into another area. His point is that this deputy IGP has always been there.
Mr. Point well made.
Okay.
Mr. Point well made. Judiciary. One the way you appointed judiciary for you. And then state lands now, you see, NDC 40 radio station say MPP for Tony. Why wouldn't they take it to court? If they think it's wrong, why are they waiting to come to power to jail them?
You can't sit outside and jail somebody.
And then I'm coming to Solo's point, say 30 years ago, Africa will be where I'm what the whole can you say? Where we are state lands, where we are way. Why don't you take it to court now? Because they think that if they take it to court, they will lose. Because court, government in power and we're appointing Gofuni now. And so,
I know there are a bogus argument if NDC makes that argument. You have the power to nominate judges.
If you apply
the law without fear or favor.
Why?
Sometimes we should not also allow people to do propaganda. The judges who sit in all courts apply the law. Who indicates? In fact, Prof, the same judges the NDCC MPP for now appoint them. And you have nobody to force in case no. About discharging to force no. So MPP judges.
So the question is the question is.
Yeah, you see politicians, but I'm bastardizing an institution.
Just
because NDC power appointed judges. Did they not appoint judges?
So why are they not taking them to court now? Because
the evidence the court, Prof. You are no court. The evidence you have propaganda and court.
I'm not trying. You see that.
Prof. Samuel Rollins in your problem, no. Ronald see NJL MPP for see evidence ben the JL omo.
So
JL obi opening party MPP for years say omo proof on betting 8 years proof na go see saying.
That should tell you the kind of system we have. But
that should even tell us the kind of gullible voters we have. So
you see what I'm saying?
Said you do Jimmy. Now I get this over JLOB. Yes, the JLOB and I know the JLOB.
But the TV say, yeah, back, you jail all of you. Me, what back what almost 7 years in you went me and JLOB back crowd. 7 years in meanwhile,
over 2 days, don't have a JLOB.
No, but I say, when we discuss, when I say, yeah, but not really, I can't skeleton. They said all sort of things. Meanwhile, 7 years in obedient me go jail. I told you I must start at the force in the Gidi. Also, the TV say, Obiato lands, state lands, illegal. Why say? Why don't you go to court and let the court jail him today? And then I can say,
because I went to the White City now. And the said, I see any idiot can go to court. But through court, or no who said idiot to be to me. Who to me surviving first rate. Na kampetwa ko dina court say
na timem for it here omutie
banche prof omo banche because nobody will go to jail when there's no evidence. I tell you now cry no good evidence because the evidence the court here saying or see enya admissible because the new court your evidence admissible evidence ntontro evidence
enti de ku de to e de beba nyina no enya evidence o ti fa court
it will be tested it will be tested to fagu but we court to election petition 2012 or say quadruplate yantongu
so efia so it tells us say omo nyina e scheming no scheme me boa
it is
no I know so bet me about say enya scheming but it's like bibia no nemre. You see,
government property. What did the Supreme Court say? Or say, the Lands Commission is a statutory body that has authority and autonomy to decide on its own. So if a Lands Commission for say property way, a government property, and you have all the procedures, natural justice, the Supreme Court cannot direct a statutory body. Simple, clear, close. That's what the Supreme Court said. And to be evidence will be at
expose they are trying to deceive the masses.
Well,
that is where I want to come in and say, not all of them. You see, sometimes, there are certain things or you raise about you. Scandalous. You, the individual, too, must go to court and also sue the person to gain credibility. And so long as there are some of the issues people have gone to court, others people have not gone to court. You can see the difference between where they make allegations against individuals and they take up the case at court to make sure that you can't use your mouth to run me down. But when you see that the individual has not gone to court, it tells you that the matter is awaiting future vetting at court.
Why do you sit on TV and say, "Yaba ebe jail munyina"?
He's entitled to his opinion.
Go to court now, today. If you say, all about documents be on TV, so say, why
for you?
So in the case of Jake case, people was in power. He took the case to court when they were in opposition.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is that why is NBC not going to court now?
On the case of jailing there, it is the state that prosecutes. And the person talking is an opposition person.
But as citizens of Ghana, we are enjoying to help with prosecution of injustice or of crime. And he said,
I'm taking legal education.
What it tell you so add the documents, why can't you go to the Attorney General and give the documents and say, look, let's proceed? And I said,
evidence in evidence in we put it to test. Prof, Mohammed, some man call us because somebody not watch it. Good evening. Good evening, Obani. So microphone word no one in town.
Okay, sorry, Pacho. Okay.
My auntie, yeah.
Good evening to you and your listeners, and both Prof and Solomon. Well, to be fair, I'm sorry to say this, but today this is the worst performance I can see from Professor. I can't say Jabin.
Well, you don't have to agree with
the reason is I have my own way also analyzing him because
I'm telling you, my auntie.
No. Whether it's Solomon Kansa did not say anything about NPP, but why is it that I'm not picking him? He argument now making it's almost like somebody or your friends Syria callers in Aquatina FM so no make argument. As a professor, you
are you no Penny?
I can withdraw. But the reason I have Theo, as a professor, no, there is a level of measurement to be and the parameters here. As a me form no, may expect to get from you. Uma medication, more resi your cancer IGP there. More your friend say, so yes, so man information then no I was switching and I was bringing in.
No, I did to say yes, so I have listed so many of them. You can prepare. So, freezer won't prepare. You don't go on a program. A program like this is a view of. Soro me pacho.
Yeah, mami try there. Mami engaging the crave non
okay.
Bro, the ambassador of the sometimes the uncofo can let me influence with submission. When your attention is drawn out, it doesn't mean no obina make it there being see that. I pick phone and call that person and say, "Menjina baby, I'm coming." God, it's me go, me bamba, chimba, a time issue. And break gumupa, and the prof. Once away, na subject I have discussing. John call research on, and the above trim, and the me drawn attention. He didn't argue on it. Sanko argue ya, and over holding as a professor. But you know, I am from. Yeah, but hold on.
Accepted, but it is not just only one point.
No, it is multiple.
You're a repository of knowledge.
Agree. Same thing.
Different subjects or university on check politics or university. On check different subjects.
And can be say. Is he a professor in politics? And I say because
nobody needs to be a professor in politics before they talk about Ghana issues.
Okay.
Stop attacking him. Go to the issue, Penny. Go to
stop attacking him
because enemy. Into who a political a professor science a PhD and sign over Hana Penny.
Me kasem back. What's enye soro I am me emphasis. Okay, and I'm so okay. The American no it's not okay. Now me catch say I withdraw. That is that thing. But I'm also trying to make point say we also come here and are you telling me sister you also don't educate here now. You don't just come here. Of sister fear, there is no one issue. Okay, let me go. I've listed litany of issues because issues nowadays, man. Fact, I didn't look at the comment. Share a whole professor. You are making a case here. Who say?
Man,
no.
Don't say a whole professor.
Okay, my a whole professor, let me go to a normal person. When you are making an argument here, we some of us, we also sit back, we take the knowledge that you share to us because we believe, say, at least irrespective.
But no one the same pressure in checking leadership. More than bad guests, so no good power no.
No, but the difference is a topic now the abeto. I am supposed to learn something from it. From panelists.
By force. That's the point I'm trying to tell you.
Okay, and is that the case, Sister Fia? Are you also looking for who do you be back? Not point now Becano and or listening.
Because of any the person to go to educate is subjective. Because they are educated the power.
It does okay. Etina.
Education.
Okay. Me patcho de mama come asem. There was one point here. Okay, say.
Hold on. Minimum. You know as if we UK. Number one. Obiye ni ho a all program yi so ana wo Ghana etuameka. Okay? Obiye etuameka. I do my own thing. Okay, Mebaha to share my opinion.
Yeah.
Opinion are like noses. You have one, everybody has one.
Okay,
you are here.
Accepted.
You are
80. Me pacho. So what we?
Hey.
Yeah. So munya more time. Nice yes back. Mama opportunity to also share our views. Share the American prof. Share what can say at the same time. The issue of Okase Adentina Yemfan court in terms of Okujata Braka, the same thing. You have to bring him in again to tell him say Okujata Braka case, do you know say Jake the end so Aqua court? Emma was drawn attention. I can pick a GPD the same thing when him I can't say Okujata Braka landed there on him. But meanwhile, also this is the argument on one as an individual already. He is making the argument, not you, before you draw us the attention. And to be careful, as only fact now, why do you make it or use it as the basis of your argument? Because Obi Abaye or Nelabo on just ordinary, on your ordinary person. You need to have the evidence, you need to have the backing. There is a maybe okay, or say. When you go to social media, go and look at and Sama and Kofoka, go and look at and try or more. Can you use social media to be the basis, for you to make
a social media analysis, the whole report about every month?
Do you know social media? One person can create multiple accounts. I'll bet you the even when it comes to say,
research, very.
So research depend upon the research now, and research now, what your friend is saying, who research the can say parameters or research methods. It is our research methods, and the better what define or research methodology. So without that, and one way, send your research, and so. So social media research. When you go to political research, it's a Ghana now you see social media. You'll be wrong because majority of the population, even how many of that will go to Ghana and vote? How many of Ghana? But me one social media. Yeah, not vote, they are down. For instance, MPP the cancer regional chairmanship position. Dr. Mr. Chibuasiako, your friends, won't to me. Every poll online, can say, will obelusu ni position. But at the end of the day, when they went to the election, he won. And to social media, now free social media, and a warrior campaigner. Is it justifiable? Okay. Because social media, everyone, somebody is in I can't say South Africa, somebody in Australia, somebody in US, somebody in the UK, and because I say your access, is the accessibility. And
I get your point too. I get your point about representation of using social media to represent the population.
Good. Okay. And now, many can say, look at Yanumna Yabo program is so nafacha. You will see that the sample size, about 95%, and you live abroad. And how do you see way now saying until the so just to be the basis of your argument on a national platform like this? I don't really take it as a proper reflection on what is going to happen.
Very well, Pacho, me that's it. Okay. You have a good evening.
Stefia, me Josuna, Michelle, Chefo. Stefia, Yabra, a small kind or somewhat tenacity. In some behind on our bachelor, by our young trema prof. Stefia, I think, sir, prof.
I think the whole point in anything, social media is not a reflection of the total population who decided on Ghana vote. And then they are coffee for baby.
Stefia, apart from that, Prof. Krano, he's not up to date. On your research. Prof is not up to date. Analysis are Prof. Bemarino. Enkoye.
Or can your opinion on your research?
No, Stefia, no, opinion, but your friend said. One friend said, Ramaka Sama party be, and yes, sir. Ne sama obekano or say obese on facts. And yes, sir, or tiano or social media, no akoshana ubisana no abeka. Sure, stuff here, or can say mina profo kasa or say Baumia team no almost struggle. Who's our kind or cabisa? Stefia, how can a team or struggle? But my team will struggle on my North Aqua campaign. We'll see NDC and struggle because of Baumia team almost struggle her campaign on my North. I'm a NDC, I'm calling Chom book was Shanty region. I'm calling Chom campaign, sorry, was Shanty region. What me at 10 Echo North, Aqua Lanchiano Prano, Atonso. Not profit time because about my team air struggle. Who bet me a chance about me team struggle?
I'm struggling in terms of communication. Stefia, message.
Stefia, dear message. Stefia, look, Mammy Casson be here. Sir Prof, and I'm saying on your Prof on Shania, Mam's or social media or call a Okujeto, and some all kind of what fat no, they have a career. Stefia, dear message. Stefia, last week in Tunisia, Obia mo launch mo campaign. Now mo communicators, you know, mo 24-hour economy amo smo deba. Want me and church mo communicators and fan ko country Ghana for. So you nasa utwana ba catch them say NDC omo a campaigner omo yano ekoye. Kwaba so wo my pain that jo mahama o na o si o de policy ba want me and church our policy ni na me Ghana ni am to am be to aba no also me hu mu say munye serious stuff here prof say na okuje to aba be kana state lands stuff here okuje to aba kan no minister no so ba eba be yi na no eno de say prof wanka Minister no be na no NDC yeah obai jinapo be na no or the same brebe tu jadin omo aton sase a NDC for aton sase o Ghana more okuje to free onu se sansem we no onka biem ensam bi okuje to ba be ka bia no ye counter pena aisa de ebu abono na yasa prof timi san bi na no be ka se MPP are buying egu banks. Stuff your MPP government ongu banks biao. Banks bien ho gu no. Wengu banks, UT banks money adi wengu no.
UT banks
stuff your okabomu amalgamated bank. Okabomu odima GCB.
There be a friend of consolidated bank.
Consolidated bank. Stuff your prof can say nipa 10,000 omu ye adwuma ho no. Omo lusu omodwuma fine Stefia no credit enye omo nyina na be lusu omodwuma ebi lusu omodwuma ebi mo lusu omodwuma but Stefia say wo de nipa 10,000 fanisa prof so omo nyina ebe to abama NDC na nipa 1.4 million omo sika da ho na government asebu sasika omo so nyina be to abama
okay no omo save sika na there
Stefia, and I'm interested. I'm almost several banks. No, that's Stefia. Obia Baba Casa.
Still almost some call musica.
That is Stefia. Obia Swaba Casa or call bank or on the Sankanisika.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Wafa who Nigan and Trabe Sanko musica.
Gana say.
But
Stefia,
I interview crowd. Hey, interview. Papa Minisika 8 billion or Ginisika or Boafi go fields. And other koto. I'm saying Nesaka 5 billion still there.
Maybe Stefia, maybe Nanka banks no suku cry. Prof Bakasa Adana Sikana Abano essay and one fan save bank. Stefia Minu in our ha John Mahama time. On my banks in Sika, Ecosi say Sikana or the banks in that time, no banks Niguno, on my own Sika, a Atrusian, or Jessica, the end of Sandy Sika. I say, you're jelly, all this kind of then Stefia paying for say. Moi quoi, c'est moi quoi, bon, tiens, Maya, you have been Kawas and Bisa.
Okay, very well.
It's a band who John Mahama Crampon, a nation of address, one of a nations of address, or can say lack of a unit in the banks need supervision. Banks, Ghana banks need John Mahama be kind. That's a buyer balance, I buy it to me up a soft banks, yeah. From what about the job, about the cancer, I buy it a good bank. I buy good banks, yeah.
Okay. Very well. I'm another person. I'm another person. Watch me say last week. Yeah, I'm home family.
Oh, I hear
you. Michael, good evening.
Stefia and Patrick Pumboko.
I don't know so.
Yanko Pond. Yeah, mentanya. Na yari wa hanko for pa.
Aye.
Yanko Pomo by na. Jumanison. We are wa hanko. Stefia. Ofaki so ati as bank ni gui. Consolidated bank now all cano and your bank or honum na buying a bank I tin straight. A Sikano, a can't go for dinner. Anna buy a car boom say, Mokanunia made a question bank back on sa. Now I day, where Chiamam into banks in India, simple. Yeah,
but I think the point he wanted to make was that, and I think sometimes in Kofu use word no say, I buy a good banker. I always also take exception to it. I buy a good bank. The banks had collapsed technically. If you read collapsing. There was no money. There was no money. There was no money. Almost asset in Dumbank. A lot of things and I said me who in Duma was a little disappointed. Not better me video, but I was like me, I'm home family. I'm in Ghana for Omonti issues, baby. I say the banks had technically collapsed because bank be a here Sikadubia was a Sikadaho. They didn't have. Say they can almost start a bank so no money at 200. Bank of Ghana law says at every point any Bank of Ghana Krobia so be commend central bank no rules. You must have a specific amount of money they didn't have. And then the excuse was that I bind your mocha. But this is the regulation is you must have this amount of money sitting there.
Steph, only me honestly, I can't say I just say a different topic because on say you can't say now as you so many 2 around 100 million plus. A binding raise call 400 million. It is already amount to call 400 million now. You don't expect to be say immediately will be ready that.
They were given a grace period. Bank of Ghana regulation, more grace period. Master, my brother tell what I'm regulation.
I'm different
increasing because from my matter we have had a problem with God Islam. Just a motor, some by Jim Kofosika maybe we. In fact, 2016 elections NDC lose. I can't NDC lose. Because what the committee suicide because no, I do musica. And people were blaming about say, well, in fact, measures and two in place. In the NDC before crop because they have done new banking law 2015. Later on, move free once and a year passes our law. No. But there was a new banking law which was expected to solve that problem. No. Now, nothing no more expanded. Say, Unya Sikada say, Nasa O bank no, who didn't go for Sika, who mismanage, who breach corporate governance. Say Sikada on your debate, depositors law, a law.
Stefia Martin, my in chat to say, Oba America grocery stores, stores a Huniano, a beer one in number of people, almost every community, almost every woman. Banks, our community or several woman. A bank, ultimately raise bank a year, you can't say 100 million, and 400 million, were brought a big community almost every woman. and yet that amount into a honum no. Into I'm saying
different topic. Michael, your categorization of banks, your rural banks, your commercial banks. So classify also your commercial bank, and you must get the deposit that fake commercial bank.
Your commercial banks, you know, your commercial banks within almost different, almost and
$400 no, the man deposit one bank there were categories. Go and check Unibank for there. Yeah, that is why Unibank was trying to acquire ADB. But no, the rules and regulation was there.
And I second social media stuff here say opening down work as a social media influence whatever, I don't know. Only say election background dear a bet say already and now olution. Only that implication or dear buano ewo because election or not social media any social media women will say I didn't inquire. No, you can't say to me example. Do you know what to me did behind? I have one man away. So one test our post Libya. Why do you say try and so? But the moment I'll bet that post no, that is the Baumia. That's one thing I very good at. I dare be bet he works towards it because on him. The influence of that, social media, it means the Eba. It is a winning man over fan. It's no can say social media. Opening the research or can and then some more. You can say prof and some more can say if or can ananka be a cock a cry if MPP and come make kickers and some more can. It maybe for me. I thought say the way your system and I say your politics no. Se nipa kan de kura no na se ene onye ya untumi mene engine tum se asem na nipa ne kan because social media ye wo ha me politicians they are na omo website na se for ma critique to omo they are just extracting information from there so that omo dey make omo decisions about how I better tackle a hard year, how I be deal with a hard year. And simple common knowledge politicians no will tell you but omo akwa or one a Facebook account or we or the other say any of us will be any so anko the other Mahama or the same thing or the other it's a honey the year and two I ana ye can be unim baumia or turn ho a kama sa MPP for omu issue omunya say if obi can sem na etia baumia ye baumia sem a oka no kan o judge prof say a 1 or 2 mistakes no say if you decide dey na akoba omia wa me sure say nka ni kwan kra say nko Ghana ni kra bia bondi say if you me bisa two simple questions sa Okada drivers no ni yes san omo cars no akọ omo Okada no aye ne cars no say if ya MPP for bet me aka 100% omo cars I wo Ghana eye adwuma sesi why they come make it that promise no but we make it that promises no the same thing sir gold for you can't say oil no okay or the quite best stabilize dollar no because now you the dollar neto Steph ya gold any effect on the Argentina still now you the gold neto oil and so still your dollar ne cost.
Okay, well I know I want here when say because Ghana exchange rate problem now about see the sika koto crude oil. And they are one of the biggest things Ghana say is sika crude oil. So why would America for Russia for is because of dollar no because America for dollarize the whole world economy to dollar. The idea was is I see a dollar now answering and exchange rate they jumping on oil no. When you more go the bet you so that your dollar never Ghana. Now maintaining some kind of stability. So that's
the whole anything I make say san ye ne pepepe me nim from so on. But me was say e dey ntini e dey gold na to na still na dollar na ekosoro.
Because when 2 years ago 2022 that importing quite $2.6 billion. $2.6 billion thing na dollar. Including when the
oil is huge amount and omodeto. It is we oil no free. Sika yesisa ekoto ni omaba Ghana yenim se Ghana ye ni ye ho hwe oti enti yeto it oil no amount is huge we free ma eni kwase nkenya effect e was
na no God baby amusi di no in any case Michael
if you almost say ya me that is the point manage de san money hurahura ye enya no kra say and yeah, no one can see the no baby. I am mismanagement. They are not using
but mismanagement. I agree, but I also can. But I read widely. But mismanagement, you have a point. So, yes, there's the mismanagement of the economy, but go for oil and also come on a model and I'm 16 and yeah, no, come on, I'm 20 something. Baby and the projection was that by Christmas, and I'm 25. Wouldn't be I am doing. And the mic I am near my boy, I'm on Tomobo. Near my boy, don't listen. You read it. Would you also be a propaganda? Read Bloomberg. You get a picture of a what boss? Good evening.
Good evening, if you.
But you. Oh, yeah.
Everyone, pa.
Great.
Good for oil need there. My impact be to the economy because oil no crown no mukoje efi UAE or whatever no. And no crown be brain no ebesen for engine. Ewo Ghana ho. Omo the bad oil and then ma Ghana for.
What boss?
Omo ntuma compensate. Debbie. Oh, one to say microphone no musi oil be buy na.
And you're true. Well, boss, me tema. I live in the place of oil Nibesino. Oil jetty. I want she 2004 a Good Friday, no. That is where I live. Oil me a left man. What do you say? They say government of Ghana account oil. Private company, oil marketing companies, no. Almost 85% of the oil that comes into Ghana are brought in by private companies.
If you oil no
funny I mix it over Tamari funny I mix it
oh yeah no mo dey buy no OPEC for year who investigation mo mu say na
low government I mix it na no na good Tamari funny abonti ono
if you are not a low quality oil and untina IMF
what boss I'm putting it to you and me tema wouldn't Tamari funny near home street than them. Over there, I want to mix it. Bet me the petrol, a frap diesel near the amount say petrol. You might do or no.
If you are by article, no, or you are messing your mouth. I'm
not saying what boss. I'm not saying I mix it, but I'm saying that it is not government of Ghana. It's a black market. And what I'm refinery. That's why I'm showing you where it is. There's a black market here. Of Ghana crude oil.
Would they ever known to me the program
companies and the lifting oil Ghana government? I didn't have a problem with that because first not Ghana government and Kasa lifting. Yeah, the crude oil be good Tamari refinery. I can't Tamari refinery good no. It is because instead of your better crude no, I don't Tamari refinery annual. No company national national no work private companies cover finished products, petrol, diesel, no money. That is one of the things that is killing Ghana. Because
I me the proper come. I mean, come point to Jimmy time no. Now prof can be say NDC for no evidence. I don't know more fan court. My prof who said there is so many reasons why I want to mean court because Osha time now he live in buy na. A black one Haruna Idrusumu omode I don't know court up to today 2 years now. Omon fra assembly court. And he said, what to me the assembly court now 2 years into me and fra. What's the motivation? Say, full frobisia. Who was enthusiasm? They say, oh, the assembly
other cases now court in court how long lady? No faster now.
Oh, if you share Attorney General versus Judge question say, Onukra go pleading with the judge say every day be a Judge question bra court. You see, meanwhile, there are other cases that are pending now. With me, the gaps, as you say, court cases, no so that will be a bit man Afro.
I understand, but Argentina political cases, they also in them. Maybe Papa case the 20 years. Oh,
no, Argentina make us enthusiastic judges the way I'm to assembly for longer years. No, could you to bet me the assembly court with evidence? Maybe 20 years time, they ever free assembly.
It's the one boss. Yeah, rushing me and for phone go to jail and I say, yeah, to court. Yeah, lawyers was slogan be the wheels of justice grind slowly.
Oh, if you say a trade-off, I say
my trade-off. Biden case, they say I'm no movie case in 2 months. Say brosa.
Oh, but
Biden case credit say over 2 years as an omu indicting and ebano. Trump the idea he. Chale,
if you are
the wheels of justice.
If you are Tio, obidi e-levy aba, and obidi aba court. E-levy aba impacts Ghanaians' livelihood. And no, they also unfre. Assembly said that 2 years. And she said Ghana for kwa hunchiremwa. And that for 20 years and so I've for assembly.
But what was in the entire case was 22 years? Do you know whether a lawyer's name you want lawyers no my budget permission? Say
say motivation be a new horse who the choir
boss. Do you know why the case has delayed?
And there could be million factors. Yeah, the
minimum why are you jumping to conclusion? Because you could get black lawyers no pray for long adjournment to prepare more evidence.
And who assume your assumption I will make it.
No, but the only assumption you want to crucify them, say 2 years at check. But no, say, you don't even know there are so many factors
I say, who father and assembly 20 years.
20 years.
Should it be so?
But say, pray and why in time you be a cotum.
And nothing I say a trade off.
Not just society, which is it's to force in case no winning and also.
So, I need to say a bit more. I say a political witch hunt to be now or
this God said this idea amount to force and I don't see a witch hunting.
Because I could for the band to and what's some about around ambulance no much as a woman. And can you know and you are saying that is for Moody cases no young be any or mutim. I'm a law school, no man, fear law beer. No, if you're any son of me, the rate at which you move fresh cases now, no, ever motivate other people.
Judges no. What's the money workload in cases a good almost what? Which is why I'm modern automation. Because only said until recently, judges now organ now. For that, you and the other church will be a long hand. Do you know that?
Now, say I have 1957 1 year.
And now, see, I'm automated and no credit in crashing. No. It's Chale.
And no interest as some for that court only 20 years as a ruling about.
Agreed, but they did 2 years. What is your justification for concluding that 2 years into your motivation? Say, Mobia, me want to force you.
Okay, you don't level as no. 2 years later, I said, you buy a ruling on to me come back to the office. Ain't you know a gimmicks be a move play? There are several instances. Be a
the to say
yes, I mean, me Casano.
But it's not in all cases. There are many blanket statements.
Me the manu see of a K buy or see NDC phone to me explaining a 24-hour economy. Trying to say which part of the 24-hour economy or on TRC Umbra Melachano. So I can say the whole show there, then he's trying to be diabolic. Because say yes, you can say 1 city, 2 city mobile phone policy in TRC. Yes, you TRC. Oh, and you're very circumspective, say. In fact, which part of the 24-hour economy policy? In fact, no on TRC. Man can say, oh, teacher, no, I can say, oh, the whole show means TRC. That means you are being ignorant. And a 24-hour economy, so any calculus, and as a rocket science, be a okay, on TRC, a propaganda diabolical agenda of Acadinam. From today onwards, on Jai.
Also propaganda no you know.
Propaganda no you know.
Okay.
If you me that say.
You me that's what boss. Yeah, then the whole person. Who the judges no you want to clean the whole judges no more party amunya boche sometimes case kokota be lawyer we see me ya lawyer we see me sisi ya me ya any identity amunya boche momo Bradmon Bacho good evening.
Good evening Tefia. How is about for this?
Adomozo
Adam. Jadi kan me type bibi kakra bi afi bank na egu yene because bank na according to sisia they no spend sisia no bank na say na gu dada and we mi so buy no o me gu kra o me gu na me form for yene consolidated bank na me person me hu ade bi wa say scanner almost the good bank and at the form of consolidated bank. It is like a size scanner, almost financial banks. Now almost sustaining for staff na you or mama ko over 10,000 for some ko ni ntimi emfa size scanning ship na financial bank ni na bank even ko say bank na say bank 10 na say bi anka no mu gu no e na sanka bi o mu ti size scanning bet na sustaining bank be it na 7 at least anka over 10,000 ko bet na tisa unemployment na ko na fi so almost about 10,000 bet na about 8% kwa there that's bank 8 I bet me about 8,000. I'm betting us about Abajum, Abayajma. Because we have consolidated bank. I say, what at all? I mean, it's a bit 2,000, I said 3,000. But I say,
but some of most of them from the old banks not called consolidated.
But all you want is the present kind of
consolidated for no to pay the salaries. So because surprisingly, what happened is that banks that no when they did the assessment bank when they went to check the books, a lot of the assets were not properly acquired assets. They were leased. In the end, to mean for bank not assets. That's what happened to some of the banks. People don't even know that. A lot of them not much of any assets.
But diligently work hours here because so if you come on for now at least some ultimate creativity if staff no workers na work banks in and sana if you much me judgment but almost fit up in the boom go na man nipa be ne profile we say go be na kokot na fini na no majority na about almost about 8% and I say 8% about my NDC because of what them are weird. But if I make be account social media election I profit come as man and buy no be canton. So we see almost everywhere be election be most me on social media. Like I didn't know about me be digitalize all the time because when we say social media when you see majority of use now one be and he say probably cancer me profit 100% because almost every second me social media more all platform biano more intimi reading me because sometimes kwa bibi wo Ghana BBC wo Ghana me ma no ko ni me from chama se BBC koso awo Ghana se me ko be no mu ni ti ko mo Ghana ho but me phone from se dia we koso Ghana the company good but I'm one thing about MP so ka be na enko on pe because only pass no quite profit come only pass no ko okay no ko woni wanti ko woni oba asma election ko labor no conservative o no jina so ti be muta no social media na labor and conservative ayi foni na
social media na nya Ghana for nyina it cannot 100% represent Ghana for nyina or move vote. I think 100%. Yeah, but it's a good reflection of the ecoso on the ground. But complete, and those were the concerns. And I'm saying, man, back on the wall.
It's very sad because almost the years of the channel. Was Ghana. Into we over the out media, maybe also financial say. We also. Oh, but I think we can clear a street car say, I do say, maybe I do and call you mamma. Homogeneous, and I say, but so much me tell I said, that's how politics is at here. And then I will be another queer amount. And as I said, I come work in South regions now, MPP, NDC. Because we are most, I am NDC in more regions as in NPP. But the man NDC lose, the number of votes and a nipana what regions anymore. And the man most NDC lose most of elections all the time. Because most a year, 2012 an example. 2012 NPP, even only 2 regions, which is Ashanti and Eastern region. But I don't know, you too close and just say, you call run off. But second round, NDC 7 years, oh, Greater Accra. I'm MPP, only 2 regions. It's 2 regions in Ama, Prof. Professor Thomas Edmidi Ewinia in Tisanka. Most you know.
Yeah, 2009 election, 2008.
I'm the 20 yeah, I think 2008 yeah, call yeah, run off. Prof.
We need that in Pacho check of facts. Nobody
almost your anti but not margin. A year too close. Some up another we elusiano. The second, and then you know, win the second round. No, we
2008 by near 2 regions, more than 2 regions. I'm coming back to the statistics.
Because most are you now, are you 4-5, NDC 4-5. But if I remember, I may of course, Siano. Nanado influence about Baumia. It's a ocean another. It's an insane Kaimono. I know could do every good NPP. Because no more in some of them, Papa come and maybe dry and send you with me. I can't use Quano or no one can incorporate on back Natna. I also come and come out. I see and some of that kind about come and come and say, yeah. Who say, Baumia not a ye can solo castle. It's a Papa, I saw ye calling or the Nabadi. Name woman. The way are OC and possible Baumiasna. I remember we could be Sabana because we could not be a election platform so or yeah, campaign Baumia. Definitely Baumia because in some of our kind of beer or call any iron for review or quiet say I was or in Nano. Emma Baumia in your vote. You know, because young Fabio another Nakasa. Actually, yes, for you back another move. And a mother could be very say, I'm not sure by the Etienne. It's a brother, I remember my family.
Maminati, Brian, Maminati, a Bravo UK, what any Macumbato, it's not a Maminata, what the whole thing I meant to me and Coneto. Bravo Cumbacho, good evening. You're too catch it. Oh, yeah.
I'm okay. I'm Ghana, you know.
Do what survey situation in now?
Sister Fiona, and my dinner, Mitiana, meet you. Sister Fia said, Udru Ghana, and some night a social media, so I better honey account. A different story. Sister Fia, a dark Ghana and the Black Star ball match. I will Kumasi, Nami Woho. Sadano, Baumia Ba Kumasi. Now, this man, Osifri Nikema, no church here, Lotto kiosk for. And I mean, Busam say, but this man is the ruling, Omonoma by was type of hand-to-hand, face-to-face politics where they sank out there and a Juma Pow so why and a bit diabo. Now, I then a papa will say, yes, I deal with. Sister Fia, me call wa baby, I Nansem Yokunkum. There was this shooting beer or wa.
Yeah.
That day I was in wa. Now, Sister Fia, all around I call was our area winning in an who NPP flats. But I who NDC for the year. And I'm just say, but this place is the stronghold of the NDC. Now, a day and a young who said the no. Unim, I hope we are one out through what Omunim say. We are MPP for now small Edward Baho. Now, you're Disikama, Babe Chama woman. That mean NGO phone and namo. I'm almost suspect here say it is a bunny and normal casa. That's all my ya mom sika. I'm say Namus uncle folk. I'm free him fan because he say I buy now sumamu na money this kanamamu. So there is a notion. Say young people no mo call Ghana no. Omo it's you know ye age young people no. Omo munti say dogobi no abeo. Omonti she the omunimani said last day you better have a chase camera.
It is the Ghana no my ready some beje.
They are waiting for it. And this man Baumia is doing it. They started it. Anyway, of course, then they come and serve you. And who is going to win? No? Yes, the dynamics not changing. Those days, 1992, J.J. Rollins politics, no, you know. These people are adopting it. And the NDC for Nomuti and crying, radio so, and Omu Boko do. And you Kumasi. But when you go deep down the village, baby, I hear farming now. Who do one hour Hawaii, so we are MP, we are abiding power, Bawa, who be chasing cow. But
Openny said, because of Sikachene, the Anna just a Ghana for the day or Muyano. Yeah, this is a man and I turn at the Neno Akotuana.
Straight up.
Wow.
That is what they are waiting for. Because me call baby, and me wafone catch me say, ye to a baby, ye who are buying beer or had and to about face kamayen. Neko, Mukwa the next feed a ben on best baby. Obusan said that ben, and I'm saying no, I'm buying a coin, ye be ya dear waha. Was one who say a 2 to 2 or say politically, politicians are behind them. And I'm to 2 of Wahonum. And there is money from I said, I mean to me can say.
No, I'm not quite aware said the politicians are behind the special not conflict.
And see that argument you have said, oh, yeah, do be a court. Sanyamano, it's not the first time. Tama the last elections I know. And Sana Nanado Babano. Mahama, I wouldn't send a brave PA total at so. You know, Mundieba, the Japan, the Abba, sa politics, a normal Ghana, but the reality, a rat race near more form, no marine for politics, the grounds, Omko Baumia, what you will be them. What thou would you call be no aquatia, no appear, no abba. Eti uni, sister, if
you truth about me, I know what is all your position leader no about power.
That is what they are doing. Sister, if you want to say a Oba and Sawam Dobro, any Sai Quino Moye, no sound to Quino. Or must start you Kota, or must start you Gusto, or must start Doblo, Hone, Oba Bedru, mid-year. Now they ba Abe Drew a Pokia.
If all is well, I then last minute on Omoye Rose.
Sister, if you saw someone who said Ghana for last minute, you would have fresh thing now. Ya gini best son.
Okay.
And this me I buy the men who say who a Japan. My willing Ghana, Mudachi, mana, Mitimikin Kaino. And go for me, mid-year, do blow, so I could see someone. They don't know who say they black enough for super. So any no one no. I didn't know what they are fashion. Almost free by my ending answer. So I quite a bit to two.
Now said to
me. I was there. Me who here. Me the car fast. So now I'm go for a year coin you. But the muye just a flash thing. It's here. But now I need that. Say me that didn't. Oh yeah. Almost coin. Oh, I say what your overhead in your manema.
Ose. One more goose keke and chebet to another cray. Oshe layers on the guia. Concrete and some layers on the guia. And the sister, if you're Sakwan, and you're no master to you. Last year, me call Ghana, no more Oh my yard,
I'm a man to blow, dear.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my adio, young class woman yadio. Oh, my yadia pa. Sakwan says, oh, yes, I trunk road, no more yet to Sumaya. At least, yeah, Fasuko Kumasi Bano. Ufri Sawamufri Suhuna Uba. Oh, yeah, your run is smooth. But the question is, why is it this time?
Kwaku, I be said, one more year, a friend at this time. One crumble nearly this year, this year. One more, I requested for extension. So, Mr.
Yes,
I might be a baby, and a better also.
Yes, I might be a baby, and a better.
Asama can say, Sir, Sika Ghana Enya in the last 8 years. Uti play muna ufri kumase kwa Olandia na uhu kwani ye. E kwani no still na kokone dos same black So uti play muna Olandia uhu extreme. Sister, I mean I'm in Kasa say you.
Can you see a third world country? Na mo person one day Ghana UK one. This is a third world country.
Sister, from 1957, you see Nesika and Yamayan, yet up to 35%.
Because a feeder rose instead of a band of concrete, said your brooch on way. Because concrete road like a bell last to say your motorway, 50 years I expect, but still they're serving. What that's
my can say, and Kayat do even 75% to Krana. Enka eye kaya
I didn't want this is a country that struggle. I bet to me 70% of the road. Because developing country.
Rose said the MPP Rose. And 75 no care trem.
Well, penny I know say they also told because Obia boy rose in Binti and people kwana rose.
Na me say do do am aye, do do am dey abeka ho.
President Kufota na mo say on why rose che Obia. It's not always about just rose no. Exactly. It's also about access because President Rollins time by na Ghana bebre ho ma access to kura ni ho. Bebre
Rollins so here. Rollins here kwan pa.
Rollins pa. And
it is Rollins your quite
yeah. This is as my year can say, oh,
be on a man quite time now, rolling the feeder road. I not try to the end. And let it quite over at least all the
Rollins here. Can I see a road set on the air? Rollins na ye.
Yeah, I course more road on the air.
Can I see crack? Can I see?
It is that as my year can say, oh, election no, the other win in the panel, the dynamics in India possible.
Okay.
Anybody's game. And we are moon, Obia planning, and we are moon, the because Africa election I at Tihono. I said, well, who could out here by Muno. Step your white Jimmy and I'll move be Fako.
Okay. You.
That the Apostle Ghana, white Jimmy as Anabo Miaki and Yemo no. So white Jimmy, me my Jimmy, now me met now my Jim call. And yeah, Juma.
Obi the same access to but who can send me about Japan have said it here as propaganda. I've met the Japan for no when they started the proposal. I know the lawyers.
And book. Obi actual.
The book is supposed to be based on a Japan project. The project never came into being.
Yes.
And the book is a fictitious book. Because as somebody who comes from a gold area, I was one of the key people who said, yeah, man, they will
no, sister, if you are no now, publish any author and almost say MPP for and then I go for do and then negotiate for and I publish it Ghana to their family.
Opinion there's nothing like that. The project didn't happen. The original Japan project was supposed to be saying the gold never got another company offshore in the U. Oh, you are not listening.
Yes, money the
all right.
You are not listening. I'm saying that the original objective was that a Japan part. Original Japan project, Dr. Dufo idea. On the budget statement, be more can when we say, your gold will broach free na yen yam fasono. Yenti offshore company. Na your gold in your shares. Near my brofu mombeto. Na engineer, no Ghana so yam faso. So that is the Japadiano gold ning I am fan quabroche. And before by number pass, Dr. Dufo idea no. And no to need Japan. Yes, I almost another company, but shareholders from the Tosono. A legal advisor was Gabi, a friend saying, a law firm. And I can say, me as somebody who comes from a gold area, me if you are man saying I want you to go the casino. Yes, because more money, and we shut it down. Advocacy 90 at the end of it was cancelled. It's finito. There's nothing like a Japan as we speak. And to be purported here, some make an obi purported say, or control book be name a Japadia is fictitious. It is bogus. It only be propaganda. That's what I'm saying. Because the project itself, it was supposed to be Dr. Or something from the bad boy, no. Kofi Safma from and that wasn't correct director. We all spoke against it. Me call meeting, fair question. I don't know, say, me my bottom na neighbor. They had to take me out. Because I was like, no way in hell. What is the justification? For even the board members, any of it never came on Any book be no, they bogus. There was no company because nobody allowed any company to be formed.
Sister Fia,
we have to. It is our as we speak now legally, there is nothing like a Japan anywhere.
Sister Fia,
there was an idea, and we shut it down.
Sister Fia, who's that? Oh my Ghana no, and contompona niema. Political parties in the now, Obiaba no makofa and trade.
But you see, idea not Dr. Dufo, but in Kenya Bado, but who said, oh, their politics here? I said, who said, politics are the bonny because Dr. Dufo can say, and Kiaba you go now, him and Dubai for a young for Sobiano. Yeah, fan company, near Fanya shares, not brofon talk, no moon pounds, euros, any dollar. Now you mommy and determine the price. And I say, we have Dr. Dufo the idea in the bank, Kenya bonny, but politics. And the problem MPP for you say the selection of board members in my name was no idea way. What more interest Anna? I don't assume a director with Ministry of Finance. There was a director of Ministry of Finance supposed to be on it. There was another director who was supposed to be on it. And yet there be gold areas. So I say Amansia, Western region. Nipa do not send a free these areas or more board. So in the end, because the people are the custodians of the mineral resource. It is also a quality company, and the people from all the gold areas must be on the board.
Sister,
for me, that was my argument. And they rejected at the end.
Yeah, Sister Fia, you cannot.
Sister Fia, okay, kind Proverbs chapter 29. Or say, or mind be and contumpo for this or no more bread. Proverbs in the class asem no aban we ba na the opposition akofa nkontompo ade no person di guna nimase we su ba no akofa nkontompo enti election we a ye ko no nkontompo nko na omode emoni ede ya ade no enu nti who is going to win NDC for no kwa de ya na so omo ya mmobo because asema esem ka onim say 24-hour economy and then nipa Ghana for I've been me Ghana the last 90 days 90 days. Ubusa ukotobe aduane wo anaso ukokona shop bi kotona uka 24-hour economy a o say eno e de ade and am say ade ya ka no radio so abesi na unima de kro. These are the things as omo ko ase ho no mko kire nkrofo mu no omo tenkran any kumase ne takradi radio so and omo discuss a japade document which is not true. Ayen kontompo nko it is almost decide there, almost decide no mako akohwe na asama si nua ketwa asan fa akonwa no na o masa ma ya bre de ekono no
yo obani ni makoma enti onso that's the back of
oh this a fear ya me share tiefo nyina na de dikai am say prof na I onya the facts to be honest with you and then maybe you are no can now I had to say a political commentator, and I said see a caller. Me I mean percent me ba na me.
But we now see any answer for citizens. So we took to vote. So I tell my yet to say
Obi I share na join, but send people to no the one buy no. No me the resource people out on mobile program so. We share so on cancer. He was very objective, very objective. Prof. Na eneme bi kra all can for instance a deputy IGP no all can say office where this government penna the deputy IGP aba 2000 from Mr. Ago na or IGP2 on the deputy IGP on for a long time okay I know tram near amount for cancer NPP ababegu banks no na identity no man face kan shemu and retaining staff no okay say NDC ama womo liquidity support twice almost side could be indumdi ni de a call US could be a bank ebi mo de could be a royal bank ebi de different things and you know womo liquidity support ya dem womo no womo anyusu anye nyesese ka omo de ye And it's a NPP so but no say some third supporter. I didn't come back. Not yeah, enriches only few people no. But because say this garbage mu amalgamate sa banks no Emma GCB so it take over 3 of them no. All depositors. Omo ensaka musika.
Well, and you're all of them. And you're all of them. Penny basin a binum sanko musica.
But they will not lose.
Well, a binum sanko musica. That's also a fact.
If you want to casual said the sank and sika.
Oh, but you news for the every day we get them. Every day.
And
you know, receiver no nana nipa they be ane kasa.
But
there are some people who are yet to receive their money.
Profit. Almost declare profit and differently.
No struggle now. They also profit.
Almost declare profit into differently on between muka. They are tossing you. And I know there. I know there. And your MPP in the begu no. Not banks no. Good at that. Because say NPP are maybe sa and depositors be lose musika nyina and all the staff be lose job nyina but a government need to me absorb some of the staff so am for nyina because it was not possible no and the no aboa pa ma Ghana economy no stabilize because of that and yes I can be collapse totally. Totally. And I am about the way your casa say Nanado promising never be brave, but want to be 65% cry. And your man Nanado a dear good cremo. Sometimes we shall cry not and what you and never be harm if you so and promise it, but Nina why cars do a Yama police. Houses are what Osiama police, any other security services. Said there was extending and I said what increasing fire training. Not back before said mobile but the whole since and chroma time. Not back say almost enya 3 organ.
Have you checked that one?
Oh, that be yeah, but you know another abo sister maybe you have
I know Nanado Bane 122 billion. Oh say so
but Michelle time Sabusiano or net 4 cities to the $1 to 4 cities or 4 cities to $1. So
yeah, say 45% of your debt near TD exchange ratio, but open here TD exchange ratio no could do.
The German could do no. And I'm a sure no.
And no management.
No. In free Ghana, cry. The economic meltdown. But make sure sister here. Now I'm saying UK, you melted down. See, US and there's news say US back on recession. What is happening? Yeah. US will go into recession in the next quarter. So what you say?
US to Ghana.
The US and she say US eco recession. And then what other countries, developing countries.
Well, US in young recession. Okay, well,
no, there's news and I make kind of BBC news. BBC News to make a fact and I make a show. Say,
new reflection on
and I make sure say,
dollar exchange rate.
No, because by say gold for oil, deal no, dollar no stabilize. Yes, we no say Kenya no and I didn't say moon. If we say guy adwuma bebre wo Ghana no Lebanese for adwuma ne wo mo ye adwuma nyina no wo mo ye awia wo mo sisa wo mo exchange to dollars no mo de ko mo chrome it definitely no very affect economy your economy no is driven by what's it called business like buy and sell and anybody could buy or car by $7 and no they are called akwakoto niema ba oba beto on CDs o wi a wasase e de akọ and definitely no CD Ghana CD to dollar no it can never be stabilized it can never ever say baomia e can be beside but it's a big crown na end this in the say COVID by economic crisis by and ka samre and ka CD to dollar no, and about 30 CDs to $1. I'm telling you.
Penny, because you see why your argument doesn't hold water. It doesn't hold water because NDC Tiakonya, so now on campaign platforms, you Kufuaba and I 1 CD $1. NDC buy $1 $4. Now what you could do 16, everybody has reason to question you. That is why people are coming from.
There was no COVID.
That is
and I'm saying on the time no, there was no COVID. There was no COVID. There was no pandemic.
Fact. Unim say NDC so no will do so. Sometimes we young people be fair. Just be fair. Be fair. What the about unia sobo into so ban now the ecosystem obi the best question. Be fair. There's no way because will be NDC. I'm on MPP question about CD in $1. No. What the about NDC sobo? Na NDC lose wa. Oba obebusa. Brado, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, ma'am. Sister, your friends in my team with discussion and all this while. The question I'm putting is that I didn't think you Chrome Ghana home. Why is too much disinformation and misinformation? I didn't think press. Sister, me my trouble you for a very long time. Me, what I don't understand is that why the press is not doing their job. They should inform, entertain, and not disable. Press for the press they have to do. They let these politicians come and sit down there, and they be throwing, that president no more disinformation. They are not telling the people the truth. And I'm even telling how is it possible? Say, Ubi a project. It's very simple to verify. How a project. NASA back and forth. Why is the president not doing a better job? Why is it like that?
Because Ghana, all journalists here, the people you are speaking for, they don't even see, say, you are fasting for them. Enti obia edin so obia mekasa na obianko. The media mirrors the society. The society ne permits information now. That's what the media will give them.
But sister, then
it's like banter. But I didn't want this is the fact. Minimum I have to straighten you say no, this is not the case. But what so now why you
yeah, but sister saying this was also work crew now educated the citizenry now. Then we should do a better job because the air cost on the same wow. Because already, for instance, sister, how can it be say we are in a country MPP for your friends saying woman understanding from your friends saying the inception of Ghana is different. NDC for only is different. OPID is different. How is it possible? Why is it? Who could they do that? I don't understand. How is it possible? How is it possible to say the seat of government? Yes, we see your friends a Flaster House, we see Jubilee House. What is all that?
No, I mean a dean to.
Yeah, but sister, what you mean to me about
statement go I said the somewhere appear you are talking too much.
Yeah, but sister, then I'm saying one also workers and you have to educate himself, master. This is not how it's done. It is not how it's done. Sister, you Mr. Buso say with namo ka court once me na me bray old true your friends saying old true your friends saying ye in our eyes, you know. Sister, for me translate the because we it's very difficult to understand. In the announcement to me in develop no. Announcement to me in develop. Sana media me huno. In the media me can be brave. What I like to me person Mubusa and I say we advocate to say press for no, you should do your job as press people, you know, for the state of the realm. No. Mom cannot cry, mom out. It doesn't matter what the other people say, but truth is truth.
But when him said the difficulty we have, and people don't also realize the shortcoming. For instance, over Ghana, any most African countries are press for na wo mu UK ne mu US no resources no more one e bi ni Africa sir. The Nancy and Ghana prayer passing right to information law. Emma all press in ubetimi could demand the government but there are even lapses in the law. Into mu US ne mu UK bi ni ho. So you can have access to because there are third-party institutions that monitor government that can readily get you the information. Ghana and Tessa, That's also a limit on the press in Ghana. Number 2, press now what Ghana now wouldn't is the press. Half of the press are owned by politicians to businessmen. Media people no mo ye adwuma ho no mo hye da am de o mo ho saa. Independent thinking na mo wo bi wo mo krom won hye da ni ebi wo Ghana saa. Sometimes you have to understand. Number 3, access to information. For instance, our right to information bill no, omo passing into law no. It also provides so many information now you must pay for it. In your media house beyond a seeker to pay for the information. So you deny, our government can deny you access to the information on the excuse national security protected. You must go to court. How many media houses can go to court? And also your shortcoming. These shortcomings need be Number 2, the level of knowledge media people no one and you be na Ghana. So because we say you're not point for pluralization of the media no. Momo de na maboa mo dada. Yeah no 92 no. About 2 media no work. So a lot of people that went into the media no, were not exactly trained. Even when they all here to say local language radio stations are. Basic you need media schools are tree journalism. Journalism. We don't have that. So everybody and then you'll be going to proper journalism school. So there are lots of it's a multifaceted but yes, that's a democracy, no. Just 3 years, we'll get there. Just 30 years. We want more laws, a bit shaping system, and give the media more power. But media one and the politicians is shown. So now they are even buying the media people so that you cannot fact check them. What I say?
Yeah, but the sister, okay. The whole kind of to us by empire there and there more. We need to do the job, you know. We need empire there and any solution. All the same, thank you very much, and we wish you nice.
The people, the voters who are supposed to push, okay, law way bet me media for more power to do this. They are not even interested in their way interested in. No? So they also like the misinformation. The voter, everyday voters, it looks like and no, the party where people like that, you know. So we have a long way, but you do.
Now me wish you nice evening. You know, bye bye.
Last caller. You also have to be fair. Okay, Prof, make your final thoughts. Thank you, sir. What can you? Because a lot of them say
before Banawan come on my wild, but don't say a Omontina will be as yes, it's your mind. It's my political party, but I hope that everybody will exercise their right to vote. Now, make up about voter apathy, but apathy. I think say but I wish that it wouldn't happen. Now, people will exercise their franchise and be part of the electoral system. Say they be chichire democracy chichire mine. Now it will be an chichire any packet to be necessary because so 1-2 it better it be open be oba be do also oba be making legislation oba be laws I be foul. Nyani American no.
Yo. Probably that's a pa now I can then nyawoda obeka say anybody. And you see what the journalists boy we face every time. They people are the party. What party for babo?
We run on by social media. Only the impact of social media today.
I know. You wouldn't say US Kamala Harris. I think 1 week later they released the social media campaign message. Big one. And no 1 week Donald Trump soon release it back to back. Look at how the politicians say NBC point now. NBC point a platform be a friend said 360 NBC 360.
Yeah.
Before so that shows you social media no influencer.
Yeah, and as I say, journalists now most of them are quitting the mainstream media and forming their own social media pages and doing great. So even in Ghana, I say Ghana folk they are even more on social media than in Grofien. They are very, very present. And see, open propaganda, open misinformation, open information. On social media, it doesn't mean say Ghana youth. Don't go be Ghana youth. No, no more romance scam name.
I know, right? Probably now I think I'm going to say no boy. I discussion.
Yo.
Professor, Jubio Usu Nyameche, a friend saying, associate professor, University of Wilberforce. No, Central State University. Yeah, Central State University of America, bro. No. Or boy, I mean, a discussion, no, and said the American. This has been a sister. I've been 1 month. Yakupon yard my bet to us next week. And a real time. But anyway, thank you so much for joining us today. And then I'm here now. Answer me per number 2% number or private channel to make for a while. Because I wanted to bring you up because the entire Yama baby, so that you'll be like a main speaker, you know. So Mamina was a baby. We have one Yakupon but to him. So NDC knows all MPP be would numbers with. And that's why I always want party phoning to be. This is a graph of total votes. Look at the regions NDC winning. All the areas now you're green in NDC. All the areas now you're blue, MPP. Until wow, yeah, campaign amount party. Now I are careful, say. And yes, it's not say I need to. NDC, they know you're green, no Dawson. MPP, but MPP won the elections because of numbers. Timonina ho. Men find ye de any attempt keke. Do the work, go to the ground and do the work. So I can say the green areas in NDC, blue near MPP. MPP were less blue than green, but they won the elections. Yeah, you mama party if you believe in the policy and the ideology of party, because that's our party bar. Obetimi change now. Ujiri se beboa Ghana no. Ti mama na mo ase bebe. Friend me vim lady afia pokua. Yakupon show. Good night.